Okay, welcome to Dark Heresy. This is Blackest Stars, or I'm sorry, Blackest Space, Brightest Stars. I want to give a rundown here for the new people. We have 3 new people to this campaign. This is an episodic campaign, meaning that anybody can play. And we have 5 players tonight. I just want to give you a background on kind of the things that your acolytes would know. So your acolytes have been essentially brought together from various ordos and brought to Port Wander. For you that don't know, Port Wander is the space station or void station in between the Cronus Expanse and the Calixis sector. And essentially you are to be boarding a rogue trader vessel. There is some sort of agreement between this rogue trader and the Inquisition that would take you into the Cronus Expanse, and so you can do your Inquisition against all things that you might want to: heretics, aliens, chaos, whatever you come across. And so far, you have not boarded that rogue trader fleet. You just landed in Port Wander a couple weeks ago, and there has been some things going on. None of the acolytes in this particular game have done anything on Port Wander yet. Vanso has seen some action before you got to Port Wander, but right now, your acolytes are doing various things. Your characters specifically have not been on assignment, just kind of doing menial tasks and personal tasks on Port Wander so far. So the game starts with the 5 of you in line with a large amount of your gear that you are transporting to the Rogue Trader fleet, and you're slowly waiting to exit this bulwark ship, this Imperial cruiser that you made the trip to Port Wander on. And you're in one of the very narrow hallways, just kind of waiting in line next to each other, and it's taking forever. You have no idea what's taking so long in this line. You just see the other acolytes around you also waiting, kind of like, with a bored expression on their face. So as you stand together with your gear that is essentially on what would you consider a dolly of some sort, go ahead and feel free to roleplay amongst each other as you're just kind of standing around waiting.
Seraphina the Sororitas casts a sly glance left and right, unsure of her new companions.
And Corbray would be standing there as a older gentleman, probably looks kind of weird among all these other acolytes that are around. There's not many old faces here, but he stands tall, very proud, hands behind his back, looking forward.
Vanso, a quite short man, is standing proud with his nose in the air, with his newly polished armor, taking a sniff when anyone passes by and giving a...
Nulf is keeping an eye about for any civil infractions going about. He's caught in his old ruts.
Ruben would just be sitting there watching everybody, keeping an eye on everybody.
Okay. You are standing about waiting to depart the ship, and as the line starts moving, you recognize a figure that you have seen before. And usually when this person comes around, it's always means something is about to happen that is probably bad for you. And this person is Coda Pike, And Coda Pike is essentially a emissary of your Inquisitors. He is an administratum member, technically. And he basically walks down the line and he's looking at the different acolytes and doesn't say anything. And then he reaches the first person in line, which would be who?
I suppose me.
He sees Corbray and kind of looks up at him and he nods, yes. You, step aside here. And then he walks to the next person and essentially repeats himself, yeah, step aside. And he does it to the 5 of you. And now the line starts moving and you watch as people just kind of pass you by. He's like, yes, the Inquisition. We have a task for you, acolytes. Are you ready to serve?
Of course, if it must be.
Good.
Always ready.
And he looks at Vanso and he says, I've read your report about Sacris. Are you ready? And is your mental capacities all there?
I am always ready to fight for the Imperium.
We shall
Monsieur.
see. We shall see. And he looks down the line at the rest of you and he just kind of passes over a data slate to Corbray.
Take a look at it, see what it says.
And it's fairly terse. It basically says, acolytes, report to Sector 745-6A. Quarantine Warden Commissar Dio is waiting your arrival. Do not fail the Inquisition. Inquisitor Tigus. And Tigus is the heretical Inquisitor among your Inquisitor group, because there's technically 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you understand your duties?
I do.
And he waits for any questions that you might have before he would depart.
Is this all the background you have on what we're doing? One data slate?
I have this, and he kind of like has a scroll that he pulls out of one of the folds of his cloak, and he's like, if I must read it, is this what you want?
Unless you'd rather pass it to me so I can dirty it with my hands and read it instead.
And he would roll his eyes if he had any. But he essentially frowns and he's like, you have a sharp tongue, old man. And he passes over the script to you.
35 years of being a judge in this miserable place will do that to you, sir. And he'd look through the scroll.
So, essentially the scroll reads something to the effect that a Imperial Guard regiment has been quarantined after returning from the Cronus Expanse on assignment. They were here on furlough, and they were quarantined after some irregularities were found amongst them. And essentially that is the gist of it, it's basically isn't an order to you. It is just simply the information on the regiment itself, what their last known coordinates were, which is footfall, things like that. Nothing that seems overly important at this point. Size of the regiment, various leaders' names, etc.
And he's be making mental notes as he's going along here. And then, all right, seems good enough. And I roll the scroll back up, tie it up, and you want this back?
I do not need it. You may have it, acolyte.
Very well, you have my thanks. tuck it into a coat pocket. I think we're ready unless the rest of these dregs have any questions.
Let's get going.
Actually, I wanted to know what the exact name of the regiment is, monsieur.
The Thunder Knives.
Do I recognize that name at all or no?
Roll. Let's see. What could you roll?
Imperial Guard knowledge?
Yeah, that works.
Any modifiers? Just a straight roll.
Straight roll.
Okay, I rolled it, but I don't see it on the chat.
That's because the sheet doesn't work, right? Use your macro.
Oh, yeah.
Any skill macro, and then there should be lore, some sort of lore.
Yeah, if I have the first level training, that just means it's a 0 modifier, right?
Yeah, you just know how to roll at your standard.
You know it.
Your score.
Okay. So.
Oh, let's get that shit out of the way.
Never heard of it before. Never heard of the Thunder Knives. No idea.
There must be a pathetic regiment for the great Vanzo Quintilian to not know their name.
If that's said aloud, I roll my eyes.
Oh, it's definitely said aloud.
Coda Pike just looks at you blankly. I'm surprised you would know many Imperial regiments. There are many beyond count. And he just kind of looks at the rest of you. Is there anything else? This is tiresome. And getting no reply, he simply turns tail and departs.
Alright, well, let's get going then. I have the data slates. Follow me. I'm familiar with this miserable rock.
Lead the way.
No full ground. Follow him.
Okay. So you head towards the quarantine zone, and I will show you generally where it is on the schematic map. So let me show you that it really matters. But if you look where the basically the primary docks are, inside around this area is where the quarantine zone is, and it's deep in the actual void station.
So right next to the barracks?
Yeah, right near there.
Very close to the barracks, yes.
That's convenient.
You don't know why that is, but yes, it is close to the barracks. So Corbray finds it without any problem. He is from Port Wander, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, he definitely has no problem finding the quarantine zone. You walk into a scene. You basically head down these tunnels and lifts, and you go down to this area that looks like a haphazard set, like almost a town. There's lean-tos and laundry hanging, and fires burning in barrels, that kind of thing. Very, very, very odd. And you see there is a gate. It's essentially what you would consider to be a chain link fence almost, that separates the outside from the inside. On the outside, you see a small station that is manned by a few guards, and there is two doors, with glass or some sort of see-through material, plastic probably, that you can see inside. One looks like what you would consider a standard guard station. One looks very different. There's a lot of vac tubes, and you see bubbling substances, liquids, decanters, beakers, that sort of thing. And kind of as you approach, a guardsman steps forward and puts up his hand. Halt there. This is a quarantine zone. No admittance unless the commissar allows it.
Understood, guardsman. We're here to see the commissar about this quarantine issue with the thunder knives.
Let me go get him. And he walks off, and he's gone for just a few minutes. And out eventually walks a very tall man wearing his traditional commissar sort of uniform, tightly, pressed and neat. And he walks towards you with a straight back. And yes, who is this now?
Serafina gives a salute.
As does Venso.
Corbray steps forward and... Julius Corbray, representative of the Inquisition, I believe you were requesting some assistance trying to figure out an issue with your soldiers being ill.
And he does not. Ah, yes, that. And he frowns. I had not thought they would take it seriously. It has been a while since my request was sent. And he kind of grunts and looks towards the inner workings of the little camp. And yes, these men are afflicted with something. Could not say what.
Would you describe their symptoms?
First, it seems like nothing all that out of place. An illness, a viral illness, sickness with temperatures and whatnot. Their flesh heats, and then it turns to madness, an extreme madness, where they murder and kill. We have only seen a few so far.
Could it have been anything from recent planets that you were on?
And he kind of shrugs. I was not the commissar of this regiment. I am the commissar of the quarantine zone. Their previous commissar is dead. You'll need to talk to them. They say it's classified, not telling me anything.
Might we walk the camp then? Collect some information with your permission?
He kind of looks at you sidelong. He's like, aye, you can. I have other problems as well, besides the virus itself. We're missing 2 soldiers. They went AWOL inside Port Wander. They could either, spread the disease or cause physical harm to others. I'll need them rounded up eventually. We cannot seem to find them.
You happen to have their names or rough description of what they look like?
I have their names, and he pulls a data slate out to read them, right, because he doesn't know them offhand. Sladriz, Impratu, and Duros Blith. That's what they're called, a corporal and a sergeant. Don't have any description.
Alright. I'll look for them as well. I do want to speak with some of these soldiers about where the source of this could have been coming from.
He nods and he says, before you go in, see the Medicaid offices in there. They have strict protocols for entering this area.
I would nod and wait for his, I guess let him take the lead on where that is, or
it's in that other. He points to the other room with the bubbling substances and beakers and whatnot. Right.
I would nod. Many thanks, Commissar. We'll do what we can.
He nods. Anybody else have anything to say to him?
I think Ruben's just sitting there kind of trimming his fingernails, waiting for the conversation to end, trying to absorb it all.
Vanso is at attention, waiting for the commissar to leave.
Yeah, he clicks his boot heels and walks back into the guard station, leaving you standing there in the open.
Ruben will look up. Well, shall we get on with it?
Indeed.
Figure out.
So what are you planning on doing here?
Just first go in and collect some information. After we go to the medic cave, of course, and go through their protocols for entering the area, and then pretty much not like shakedowns or anything on my part, but after we go through all the medical procedures, just huddle everybody together. All right, we're looking for two separate kinds of information here. First, we want to know anything that might have caused this virus that it picked it up from. Just pick at their brains, not literally, but figure out what might have happened that caused this virus, disease, whatever it is. Collect information on that. Second, we have to figure out more about these troopers. We have names, but that doesn't mean much. We have to see if we can find people they know. Descriptions. It's going to be like finding two needles in a haystack, finding guardsmen in this damn port. So we need all the information we can get.
Sounds fun.
Sir.
Do we really have to speak to this rabel? They stink.
And so do you, whippersnapper. Yes, we do have to speak to this rebels more intimately familiar with what's going on here than you or I ever will be.
Couldn't we just threaten them with the pain of death? And we don't have to talk to them.
If you want to run around threatening people in a quarantine camp, you're more than welcome to, but I won't step in if the commissar decides he doesn't want to hear your mouth. Anyone else got anything?
Perhaps a suggestion. Nolf pipes up. Would it
Go
perhaps
on.
be advisable to split up? One group search for the virus, the cause, and the other search for these missing troopers.
A sound plan, Arbite. I suppose. What say you and the sororitas work together? Apply your respective methods of interrogation, if that may be what it is. I'll take these two in any trouble and do it my way as well. And obviously referring to Ruben and Vanso.
Seraphina's eyes brighten and her hand drops to the hilt of her chainsword.
An honor to work alongside you, sister. And bounce his head.
She returns the nod. Shall we then?
We'll reconvene here in 2 hours. Figure out everything you can before then.
Okay, so specifically, what are the two groups doing? The gate is locked currently. You cannot get in without apparently visiting the Medicaid station.
Yeah, we would visit the Medicaid first and then have
Okay.
that.
And so is okay. So everybody's doing this, okay? Because this.
I just got a question. It was said they went AWOL. Did they go AWOL after they were locked into the quarantine area?
He did not say.
Okay.
It might be that he does not know. Not being the commissar, but maybe he does. You could go back and ask him if you wished.
Do that on the way out, maybe.
Will, because that's some pretty important information. They could just not be in the zone.
So when you backing up just a second, when you talk to the Medicaid officer, so a gentleman, this fellow is sitting in there, and he is basically pouring all these liquids together and like sniffing him and making all these strange noises. And he looks up and he's like, "Yes, who are you? You're the ones you want to go into the quarantine zone, is it?"
Yes, that's right. We're here investigating the nature of this virus and missing persons and all that nonsense.
Yes, and the missing persons, I need them. I need them back. I'll need to look at their bodies to try to find out what can combat this plague.
It's on our to-do list, trust me. Right now, we're collecting information from those that remain.
Well, don't damage them too much, else I won't be able to get the samples I need. And he kind of looks at you and...
Well, that seems to have stifled Seraphina's question.
And he basically gives a black tooth smile. If you're going in, take rebreathers. Leave them here when you leave. We have a limited supply. And he like waves to these rebreathers sitting on the table. There's like 6 or 7 of them.
Sounds absolutely sterile.
Yeah, oh yeah. You see that there's they've been worn recently.
Pick the bottom of my coat and wipe off around the edges of it, grimace.
Seraphina will quickly look at them and see if one of them looks like maybe it's in better working order than the rest.
Yeah, you find one that maybe isn't snotted up too bad.
I imagine you and I went for the same one, and then I just gave it to like female, go for it. Chivalry.
So is everybody going to put on a rebreather? Is
Yes.
that
Ruben will put on a rebreather as well.
Absolutely.
Nolf will subject himself to whatever STIs are on this thing.
say that again?
Nolf will bear it.
He'll bear
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So you, as once you have your rebreathers on, he's like, if you find anything, come tell me. I'm hilarious.
Corbray, and hold out a big old paw.
And he,
Seraphina whispers to Nolf, I didn't think he was that funny.
and he hands out his.
Smashingly.
He holds out his hand, and you notice that he only has 3 fingers, and they're like overly large and almost like claw-like. So he has some sort of mutation.
Fine with me.
It so kills the Medicaid officer. He shakes your hand. Yeah, just bring him to me. Anything. Their bodies. Any information you find.
Understood. No problem there.
And he calls out to one of the guardsmen, let them in, they're authorized. And the guardsman walks up to the gate and basically inserts a what would pass for a key. It's a circular object, actually, and basically turns it, and it unlatches the lock, and he pulls the gate open to allow you inside.
In we go.
Right.
Down the rabbit hole.
And you walk in, there are several hundred people in this area at the least that you can tell from this vantage. You do see something similar to this scene where someone is playing an instrument and there are people just kind of huddled around You notice there's a mixture of men, women, and children. They appear to be fairly at ease, if you will. A lot of them are wearing close to rags, not their military uniforms, which you would assume in a quarantine type of situation were burnt or disposed of immediately in the incinerator. So they're all just kind of, they pay you little mind as you walk through. They're all probably used to people walking through with rebreathers right now, checking on them and whatnot. And some look sick, some don't. You notice that there's a guardsman with a rebreather on standing next to 2 or 3 people who look like they are near death. Their face is flush with, probably fever, and they're like sweating profusely and just kind of moaning, and he's just kind of watching them with his gun. He has like an autocannon ready to let loose on them if need be.
Damn.
Autocannon.
An autocannon? Holy shit. They're not fucking around in here.
Must be worse than we suspected.
Indeed. It's probably those ones there that he's watching over are probably in that closer stage of becoming violent, based on what the commissar was saying.
We should find one of the guards that may be knowledgeable about what's going on.
We're going to ask everybody who will talk to us as many questions as we can in a few hours, and then we're going to look for those damn missing guardsmen. They're a big priority.
Perhaps we can both get started at the commissar of this regiment.
Right. Alright, I think now is a good time to split up for a moment. Same as we discussed. We'll meet back here at the front in 2 hours.
Best of luck.
And you as well.
Not being the subtlest of person, Nilf will turn to the nearest guardsman and ask him where the commissar is.
So you turn and you ask one of the random people in there where the commissar is, and he looks at you and he's like, "Dead. Didn't make it back."
And who else command?
Probably the sergeant. Socrates.
Where can I find him?
And the person points in the back, and there's a man kind of just sitting there, and he has a knife in his hand, kind of like sharpening it on what would be a whetstone, essentially.
Okay. Nilf will nod to his sororitar companion and start walking over there.
And she will accompany him.
Sergeant Zagatos.
He looks up and he's like, "Yes?"
Nulf did hear Julius address them as members of the representatives of the Inquisition, yeah?
Yes. But this person probably did not hear that.
Definitely, I was just wondering if
Yep.
it's okay for him to mention that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
In the name of the Emperor's Holy Inquisition, we are seeking some of your men.
He
I believe
nods.
they went AWOL.
Ah, yes. The sergeant and the corporal.
Yes, sir.
And he's
I'm
like,
in need of a physical description of both of them, if that is.
"Yes, I can do that. I've given it several times." And he kind of like grunts, but then he goes to describe them. The first one he describes, he's like, "Duros, he's a sergeant. He's a slightly built man. Hawkish nose. Ugly. Dark eyes. Balding. And he shrugs. That's all I can really think of. Used to wear his head of gas mask a lot that he wore.
Was it modified in any way to signify something special to him?
Not that I know of.
And the other, sir, the corporal.
Sladra's hulking beast of a man. Shaved head, scars on his face. Wore a bandana. Red, I think.
And where were these two last seen?
I couldn't say personally, but I've heard rumors.
Did they make it back to the station, or did they disappear planetside?
Oh, they're here somewhere. They were on the shuttle back.
So when the quarantine hit, they would still be within the quarantine area.
I don't know if they got out before everyone was quarantined or not. I would think they did get out before, or they would be here, would be my assumption. He looks...
No, is there... Sorry, I'm new to
No,
the
you're fine.
system. Is there
You're
a,
fine.
a skill that, to discern if someone's lying or not? Or
Yes,
withholding information?
scrutiny. You can roll scrutiny.
Okay. Token.
Should be any skill. Yeah, scrutiny.
If you're trained or not trained, will have a bearing on it as well. If you don't have any ticks in it at all, it's at half, whatever your characteristic is. But roll it and then figure that out.
I'm looking this to make sure he is trained.
Mm-hmm.
So
If it was an Arbiter, he would be.
Yeah. So you got to
Yep,
beat a
he's-
32, so you miss.
Nope.
So you can't tell. You can't
Just gives
tell.
him those arbiter eyes.
Yeah. He's like, you can ask around, but I don't know that anybody knows. He kind of shrugs. He's like, trust me, if I knew where they were, I'd tell you. They're causing all kinds of issues in here. We just want to be cured of this plague.
Thank you for your cooperation, Sergeant.
He nods and looks over at Serafina, just kind of expectingly that she might ask him something too.
When he mentions the plague, so Sergeant, you've seen this thing firsthand, yes?
Yes, saw it when it first struck on the ship.
What's its onset time? From the time you first notice a symptom to the time that they've gone mad? What sort of time frame is it?
Yes, I've seen 2 cases, and from what I know, it was differing. One was a private. He was the lowest of the low, skinny, not much account. Then he rose up quite quickly after being sick. Stabbed a Medicaid officer in the throat. Killed a few more with his guns. Fought like the devil.
She frowns at that.
The other, well, it was here in the quarantine zone. Fell sick on the ship. Much, much different. We were ready. She wasn't able to harm anyone. But she tried, and she was strong. Stronger than she should have been.
Serafina nods. Thank you, Sergeant. Good luck.
He nods. Hope you find him. Hope you find a cure for this.
I hope so too, Sarge.
He just nods. So Corbray,
Mm-hmm.
what are you guys doing?
I'm asking more specifically about the two troopers that are missing. Well, not missing, but what have you, whatever the situation may be. Asking more about them specifically and what's going on there. Looking for, just walking around and like trying to find someone who might know, asking, do you know these two? And if you do, what do you know about them? How well do you know them? You're trying to find someone who understands them, like what they would do at this point, being away, if they were on leave,
Yeah. So you're walking around and, one second. You're walking around and you're kind of asking people, and they're like, you should talk to Private Alt.
Where can I find this man?
And they point kind of to the back, not too far away from actually where Nulf and Seraphina are, at a pretty large, strapping fellow. And he's doing push-ups.
Let's go interrupt him then.
Yeah, he looks up as you kind of approach. Dual use of that. I have to. Yeah.
No relation.
No. And he looks up and says, yes?
Private Old, correct?
Yes, Private Alt, that's me.
My name is Julius Corbray, representing. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about some friends of yours.
Kind of like rolls over onto his hip and sits up, and he's like, friends? Who would that be?
Oh, I have it on good authority that you are familiar with a Corporal Sladrus and...
Yes, the missing corporal was in my platoon.
I was wondering how well you knew the corporal, habits, things like that.
Well enough. Spent 2 years with him in this regiment.
What do you think he would be doing on a shore leave of this nature? Say, since if he went missing and decided to go out and have a good time, what sort of entertainment would he seek?
Oh, probably making some trouble, fighting, drinking, whoring.
He's not a very rich man, being a guardsman, I presume.
He just laughs. Rich? No.
You know anything about the sergeant?
Little. He was my sergeant, but he kept to himself mostly. Strange fella.
In what way would you call him strange?
Didn't much speak to anyone unless he had to. Stuck up like. Angry. Brooding.
Seems like he would have made a poor combat leader if he wouldn't speak to his own troop.
Well, in combat, of course. I meant socially.
Excuse me, Monsieur Corbray, but could I possibly ask a few questions?
Might as well. I'm sitting here.
Oh, he was asking me my permission.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And look over at him. Go on, but the same applies if this fellow doesn't like the cut of your jib. And push him forward.
As a fellow guardsman, I am asking, did he have any brothers in arms? Anyone that he spent more time with than usual? Maybe someone who he liked as a friend, or someone who he could stand?
The sergeant? Not that I know of. No one really cared for him that I am aware.
No one at all? Not even his corporal?
He shrugs and he's like, well, they spoke more than others, I suppose, him and Sliders, but chain of command, you know?
I do indeed. That was all I had to ask. Thank you very much, monsieur.
What's a monsieur?
I apologize. It is my people's way of saying sir. But if you want, I can, as a corporal, I can use your military rank as private. But I think that is not wise.
He just shrugs.
Just one more question for you, Private, and I'll leave you back to your workout. Did anything change as far as for the corporal and sergeant? Did they act any different before docking here?
Why don't you use inquiry?
Okay. Okay.
Or you can use one of your fellowship related skills.
They would all be the same.
Yeah.
So inquiry's fine. Here we go. Okay.
So that is 3 degrees of success, is that correct?
Yes.
So basically he's like, well, didn't want to mention it because I don't want to get him in any trouble, but yeah, we saw some shit. They started acting strange, like Sladrus did. And he's like, I guess I'm not supposed to tell anybody this, but... And he kind of waves you 3 forward towards the corner. He's like, come this way, I'll tell you all I know.
Alright.
And he goes into the corner and kind of crosses his arms over his shoulder. And he's like, you ever heard of Foulstone?
Foulstone.
Mm-hmm. Foulstone.
What is Foulstone?
It's a planet. Hideous one at that. And he kind of like frowns and Dead World went there scouting it out not a few months ago, landed and we've ended up in this underground complex. Heard the commissar say what we found was a Necron tomb or something.
Oh, fuck.
Then, sure as shit, there they were. Weren't very many of them, but they drove us out of there. Both the sergeant and the corporal were in the front lines fighting those things. I don't know. All I know is some yellow gas came out of the walls, and guessing that's what made us all sick. He shrugs.
How long between the symptoms?
I don't know. All I know is they said 2 of them on the ship got sick. One went crazy on the ship, killed a few. One got sick and tried to kill people here in the quarantine, but guess she didn't.
And the corporal and sergeant, were they near the gas when it went off and started to affect everyone?
Yes, they were. They were in the front lines. That's where the gas hit first, and then wafted over us all. And you kind of notice that he's sweating a little bit, but you're not sure if that's because he was working out or.
Are you nervous?
Nervous? No, I'm not nervous. I'm nervous that I'm going to turn into a freak and try to kill somebody, I guess.
And I imagine they'd have a lot of trouble putting you down. This is sort of making a morbid joke.
He frowns. He's like, well, what I heard about the private on the ship, and he was 100 pounds lighter than me, and they had a hard time putting him down, so maybe.
Well, Private, I'm telling you, we're going to try to get to the bottom of this thing. And I do appreciate the information you've given us. I think it's going to help us go in the right direction. And look over at Vanso and Ruben. Either the two of you have anything else you need to ask this man? He looks busy.
I think we could let him go back to working out and worrying about getting sick.
Look at Vanso. And with that silence, well, Private, I do appreciate your time. I'll slip him some money and treat yourself while you're still feeling well.
He looks at it, at the gelt you give him, and kind of shrugs and pockets it. Very well. My thanks.
And then, looking at the other two, it's probably been a decent bit of time since we've been here.
Yeah.
We'll continue to ask around, on their way back, but we'll head back to the meeting point.
Yeah, you don't find any substantial information other than, what you got from the private. That was probably the best that you're going to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the...
Are there any children?
Yeah, there are children.
Could we ask them questions?
If you want.
Okay. Because children sometimes divulge things they're not meant to.
Mm-hmm.
So Vanso tries to find a child who is a little alone, so the adults can't protect it.
Okay. There's a little girl, and you see her, and she's kind of leaning against the wall, and she has this cap on, and looks up at Vanso as he approaches.
Hello, little girl.
Yeah? What you need, mister?
I am actually here sent by very important people to find the sick ones. Do you know anything about those people who are sick?
Yes, they turn into monsters and kill people. That's what I've heard.
Is there anything else? Rumors? Stories?
Yes, I've heard many.
Could you perhaps tell me some? I'm quite interested.
They say they turn into half man, half wolf, half man, half giant. Large teeth, tusks, tentacles, eyes made of red gold. And she shakes her head and kind of shivers.
Well, thank you for letting me know. Now off with you, you filthy peasant.
She's like, she just looks at him as she just is standing against the wall still.
Kicks him in the shin and runs away.
Looking over it. And standing there with Ruben, probably, talking to someone else, and realize Vanzo's gone. And seeing over there talking. What's that fool doing?
Maybe he has an interest in some children.
Oh, don't get me started.
While you two were faffing about, I spoke to a girl about the rumors and stories.
And?
Well, they said they turn into monsters, half giant, half man with tentacles and eyes of gold and red. They sound corrupted beyond belief if the stories are to be true.
And you believe the words of a little girl, mind prone to fantastical?
All rumors have a touch of truth. If not, they would not be rumors, but simply lies.
Oh, something to consider, I suppose. No one made mention of such things to those that are already dead from this disease. But I suppose if it was something like that, they wouldn't want to spread panic.
That's why you speak to the children. They eavesdrop when they're not meant to. The little pests.
Agreed. Shame we don't jail them like we used to.
The good old days. They still do it on my planet.
Sounds like a good bit of work for retirement. Should I ever get out of this outfit? Right, well, enough listening to this guitar and all these people crowding and crying and dying. Let's go meet Seraphina and Nolf.
Hopefully they found out more than we have. But Daddy, Ruben will put his nail clippers away.
So you head back towards the entrance, and Nolf and Seraphina are walking that way at the same time, kind of come together.
I would think we just all exchange information.
Yeah.
As what we found.
Mm-hmm.
And just to recap for everybody, because I was keeping some notes off my sheet here. Duros, ugly, balding, hawkish nose, strong, wears gas mask a lot. Sladrus, hulking, shaved head, scarred face, wore bandana. Red, last seen on Port Wander, not sure if they were on the ship when it with the group when quarantined or before, likely before, as they're not here. And then the whole Necron tomb thing with the gas, Foulstone, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we know right now. And then habits also, your typical guardsman habits was just to get rowdy, which doesn't narrow it down a whole great deal, but it does a bit. We've got some places we can go now.
Just look for the rougher bars.
So, why don't everybody roll me awareness?
Oh boy. Speaking of rowdy. Oh shit, I might have actually passed that.
Nice.
31 cut in half, yeah.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
I did too.
What?
Yeah, 36 cut in half. Boom.
Mm-hmm. So everybody else failed, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as you're kind of talking and exchanging information outside the gate or right at the gate, the Medicaid officer comes by and says, "Those rebreathers, you going to give them back?" Or actually, I take that back. He doesn't actually come out. Are you going to return the rebreathers to him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pocket mine.
No, Seraphina will be glad to return it.
Yeah, I'm gonna return
When they
it.
leave, yeah.
Okay. Vanso?
Stray away from the crowd a little bit so that way he doesn't realize there's one missing.
Mm-hmm. Vanso, are you going to return yours?
Vanso does not return the rebreather because it is more useful in his hands than a peasant.
Okay. So basically, he doesn't. He is still busy in the room to really kind of realize what's going on. So as you're kind of walking out of that building, so Vanso and Corbray notice a man kind of from down the hallway with what I'm not sure what it would be in 40K, essentially binoculars.
Magnoculars, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like definitely looking around a corner, trying to be kind of sneaky, and looking at something going on. Could be you, could be something past you. You're not real sure. He's probably 50 feet away, maybe, around a corner.
I would look over at Vanso to see if he's seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, he's looking right at that guy.
And sort of not too hushed, but loud enough for Vanso to hear. It's a bit peculiar behavior, isn't it?
Magnoculars inside of a port. It's quite strange.
Maybe we should ask him what exactly he's doing.
But be sure not to tip out. No, sorry. But be sure not to tip off the lazy peasant.
Yeah, I'll start heading towards him.
Yeah, and you're in a corridor that goes only, one way, unless you're going back into the quarantine zone. So you're going towards him, and as you do, immediately he ducks around the corner. You can't see him currently.
I'll sprint.
Okay.
Vanso follows him.
Okay. So what is Seraphina, Nolf, and Ruben doing as...
He's gonna see the two start going one direction. And he's gonna kind of follow behind them, and when they start running, he's gonna start sprinting, not knowing exactly what's going on.
Well, if Seraphina can make out who she thinks they're after, she'll look for some way around. Try and cut the guy off.
Exactly
Yeah.
what Nolf was thinking.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be a way because it's just one corridor out of here. At least at this part, right?
Well, then she joins the chase.
Okay.
Likewise.
All right. So, everybody, give me an athletics roll.
I'm falling down.
Ugh, my arm is too heavy.
Almost. Actually, no, never mind. No. Just no.
Oh.
All right. So let me make mine. Hold on.
Not but garbage.
That's how I roll.
Corbray turns the corner, trips, and we all fall after him.
Fall right on top of him.
They don't make bionic legs like they used to. Oh, he bawled.
So, you get to the corner, and this guy is making some headway on you. Now you're down kind of like basically where you're going to is a smaller corridor that he's kind of entered into that goes left or right and a T. And he takes the right path, but he is putting some distance on you now.
Should we shoot him?
They don't have a clear shot. Keep trying to follow.
Do we really care if we happen to clip a peasant?
Yes, because he can't tell us why he's magging us.
Yeah, you could try to shoot him, or you could try to give chase. If you try to shoot, pretty much if you try to shoot and he's still able to run, that person that shoots is out of the chase.
So, Julius, you should shoot him.
Yeah, probably should be me. I mean, I'm gonna miss, but we'll do it. And pull out my hot shot and aim for and go for the legs, or just wherever I can hit him. Really, in this distance.
Yeah, if you're actually aiming, it's gonna be even tougher. But yeah,
no,
go ahead.
Let's try to shoot him.
Okay. Okay. Roll location.
Isn't it just
Hopefully.
that flipped?
Oh yes, you're right. 82.
82. That's a leg.
So let's see here.
Left leg.
Yeah. So you shoot him, and I'll give him a penalty on his next athletics check.
Man, hot shot is so powerful.
It is.
It's
Pin
pin. Oh,
in my hand.
it's pin 7.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, hold on here. damage.
Hopefully you didn't blow the leg off.
No, you
Too bad
didn't.
it's in my hands. But
I'll give him. He's gonna get a pretty significant penalty.
So I'll whip my hot shot out. Just one shot flies through his left leg.
Yeah, he staggers as you shoot him. So everybody else roll athletics.
All right.
That's good. That's not.
Oh
Oh
my gosh.
Down I go again.
The funniest thing about Vansa is he talks so much shit, but his rolls are always terrible.
Yeah, as long as there's not fire, though, I'm pretty good.
Okay, so
Oh no, Belt baby.
basically,
Oh my gosh.
Ruben, Serafina, and Vanso don't really gain on him so much, but Nolf ends up getting he's probably about 10 feet away at this point as he turns the corner. And right now, Vanso, Ruben, and Serafina are too far away to catch up, probably. Unless Nolf is able to catch up to him first.
Come on, Nolf.
So Nolf, you got an athletics roll you can do here?
Alright, Nolf will, I don't know if it's thematic or if it actually costs a part of an action. He'll just draw his shock maul and get ready to
Yeah, that's fine.
Emperor's Justice.
Yeah, you just flip your shock maul off your hip as you're running.
Stop in the name of the law. Oh shit. Oh.
So you guys you're still running, and you don't get any closer, but he isn't able to get free. So go ahead and roll again.
Stop in the name of the law.
And the way it looks is like you're going through this corridor. He's cutting the corner. You cut the corner. He cuts this next corner. You don't even know where you are at this point. Go ahead, North.
While North is running for that man, how about we get some recaf? I am quite tired from all the running.
All right, Noel, if you catch this guy, how does it look?
I think he takes him out just in the exact same legs. He stumbles a bit, and as I run past him, as I rolled that forward, just sprinting past him like shit, and he swoops down like a cavalryman would and just takes the leg out from under him.
Oh god.
Yeah, you hit the back of his leg, and he kind of flies up into the air and slams onto his back. And then he's trying to catch his breath as the wind is knocked out of him, and you're kind of standing over him.
And kicks him a few times.
Yeah, he's not resisting, but you kick him anyway, and everybody else can catch up now.
He's got a foot on his chest. He's all around the corner.
Oh god, it's been so long since I've ran that far, that fast.
As he does not have the legs of a filthy commoner, I can give him that.
He was outrunning bionics. Maybe I should get some new ones.
Maybe I should find some.
Yeah, and this guy's just laying on the ground, and Nolf is just over top of him after putting a beating on him.
Emperor's justice has been dispensed. He's your prisoner now.
Alright. And so walk over him, and this is how he looks. He's got that kind of haircut.
Yeah, yeah. And you notice, the side, it's not actually a haircut. The left side of his face is scarred by a burn scar, and it travels up into his on top of his head too. So it's just the hair is not growing where it's burnt and scar tissue and whatnot.
I got you. So, what's the meaning of this, young man? You gave us quite the chase.
Oh, I should ask you the same thing. I just get my ass kicked for no reason.
We saw you with some magnoculars looking our way. Bit suspicious.
And he's like, I was looking at one of the women in the quarantine zone. Looked nice to me.
Yes, but you're using magnoculars inside. You could just go up to get a closer look. You have to use magnoculars if you are looking for something especial.
I don't want to get that close, quite honestly.
Then you are just a coward peasant.
And he like kind of grabs at his leg and is moaning.
That's a pretty bad shot there. Don't know that you'll die from it, but it can be very painful for the rest of the day. And I'll put my foot on it just a tad and push in.
He like screams out, what are you doing?
I want the truth. That's what I'm doing. This is how I get the truth. This is me being nice. I could let the Arbite beat it out of you. I'm trying to give you a chance to walk away with a full mouth of teeth.
Go ahead.
Why are you stalking around?
Yeah, go ahead and roll intimidation.
Oh, fuck.
It's like having a charisma-heavy character do all the time.
Yeah. I have deceive and charm. I do not have intimidate. But here we go.
Well, I mean, that's the roleplay, right? The roleplay says.
Let's do her.
The roleplay's solid. It's just...
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. A Hierophant character may spend a fate point to automatically succeed at a charm, command, or intimidate skill test with a number of degrees of success equal to his willpower. Because I'm not going to pass this anyway, I will just spend a fate point to succeed with, let's see, willpower bonus with 3 degrees of success.
Okay, so mark that off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're just like, and he's like, oh, fine, it doesn't matter, it's just guilt. And he just kind of rolls over and he's like, all right, just stop. And he kind of like looks at you imploringly.
Take my foot off.
Yeah.
Now go on.
Some freak paid me to watch the quarantine zone. He was, God, he wanted to know of any irregularities like this. People coming in asking questions, who they were.
By freak, would you mean he describes the Sergeant Duros or Corporal Slanders?
Yeah, when you mention the corporal, he's like, yes, that one, huge, headband, shaved head, mean as hell. Thought he was gonna kill me.
Where?
He's like, he's in the tunnels here. I could take you there.
Nah, you're speaking something worthwhile to listening to.
If you just don't hurt me anymore and let me go.
Don't hurt you anymore and let you go? You just sprinted pretty quickly. Let's see. Did he already pay you?
Half.
I'm gonna root around and grab half, wherever it is. Bag. Hold on to it. Now, I'm gonna give you your money back to make sure you take us to the right place and don't give us away on the way there.
Alright. And he's like, I just don't want any more trouble.
We'll see. Does anyone here know how to patch up a wounded leg so he doesn't bleed all over the place as we're walking?
With respect, sir? He doesn't know if you're like a lord or something. My lord. That was the last shot.
I know. I'm not referring to my last shot. I'm referring to the impact your club made on his thigh. I'm pointing down and it's the horrific burn and blood that's dripping out of it from the impact wound.
Hold on one second, guys. Sim is, he lost his internet. Are you there, Sim, still? Let's just give him like 5 minutes. Let's take a 5-minute bio break and wait for him.
I can do Medicaid, but I can do Medicaid, but I had to roll under an 18. So
No.
why not just cut the leg off and then cauterize it?
That's I feel like cutting a leg off would guarantee his death.
No, you
No,
cauterize it.
I mean, he can still walk, right?
Oh, he's fine.
I
Fuck
mean,
him. Never mind.
he's just in excruciating pain. He has 2 hit points
So?
left. Right?
Good.
Yeah. I'm just telling you the scene, right?
He's nearly dead.
As normal people in the Imperial
The
Guard
Emperor's mercy.
jack about like chaos, that kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, some do. I mean, or they're just misinformed. That would be my take.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Nobody
if they
knows
do
the
know
truth.
anything, they never know specifics. They just know that there are evil powers out there that they're actively.
Corn's angry, seems just changey.
I don't even know if they know that much specific. I think they're aware that there are ruinous powers, but not the specifics on them. It really depends on where you are, how much money you have, and
Are you talking about
much
like the
experience.
citizenry in general?
yeah,
Like,
citizenry
what-
in general is fairly ignorant.
No, the citizenry in general aren't supposed to know it. If anyone does know it, they're supposed to be killed on the spot. That's the regular rule. People, like if you're a regular citizen and you even know that there are chaotic or ruinous powers, off with your head. Like just knowing that they exist, unless you're given special reason, is a death sentence.
Nolf might though, because Nolf has a he's a high level law enforcement officer. Like Arbite are pretty badass officers, so he might have dealt with some cases before.
What about the sororitas?
Oh, yes. I don't know that Corbray would know a whole lot
No, I only know
because
orcs
he's a fucking
and humans.
judge. So I'm just I'm a paperwork geek who's angry.
Yeah, the question is how many of you knew about Necrons or what a Necron was?
None.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
Just like, huh?
Necron, what?
What? Like metal Egyptians? What?
All I heard was
Oh,
gas,
like the
planet, evil shit. I was like, yeah, that sounds
Gas
about
that
right.
eats suns, then they built metal bodies? What?
So yeah.
Wait,
So yeah, evil stuff.
Wait, God is actually just a bunch of old frog people?
Yeah.
Fucking frog people.
They have cosmic entities and crystals. Cool stuff.
The Emperor is not a frog person.
As far as we know.
Did you guys hear the theory that Warhammer Fantasy, it's stupid. Warhammer Fantasy takes place on a planet in Warhammer 40K?
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's
I've heard that
wrong.
before.
They're on different planes of existence entirely because there are nods to it when you're on the warp is like the what's it
Wind?
sort of like the glue between it. It's like a median because you see sometimes when they're in the warp there are allusions in Warhammer Fantasy to the guy from the Grey Knights, Kaldor.
Are you back, Sim?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
mhm.
Yes, sir.
Nope. All right. So,
How much did you miss?
you
No,
know,
nothing.
Yeah, so it was really just after he said if we let him go, we can take us to him. So
Oh, we're good.
Perfect.
We're
You
good.
just missed a bunch of shit talking by me. Then it's no problem.
Yeah. So he agrees to take you there. He is limping badly. He's like, yeah, well, it's not too far to these tunnels.
And obviously we have him in front because
Yep.
bullet shield.
Mm-hmm. So
No
you're
fellows
basically,
behind.
yeah. So you're heading in that behind him, and he walks. You walk for like 10 minutes, and like it is like getting incredibly dark. You notice where the lights are flickering, like there's power outages, and whatnot. And he's like, down this way, it's dark. And he like says, he said he would turn on the lights if he could. When I came back.
Everyone looking over everybody else. I think everyone should be keen as to arm themselves just in case. I'm gonna have my hot blast pistol out at my side and walking.
Yeah, Nolf's got his shield and shotgun allowed.
Also has his sword.
and I got a Ruben pull out his chain sword.
Sword and gun, one in each hand.
Yep. So you walk
Seraphina
into.
undoes the snaps on her holsters, but does not draw her weapons yet.
So you head down into this. You basically have to take these stairs down into this area, and the ambient light of the lights above you kind of shine to where you are. Now, can everybody see anything?
Fuck no. Very little at the top, kind of.
Yeah.
Top left.
Right, well, I just want to make sure
Yeah,
here.
top left. I see the
I
guy.
can't see crap in the top left. Can't see anything.
All right, hold on.
Nulf sees him.
I just see the dark void
Yeah, I get you.
devouring my soul.
Yeah, it's because I added your token later. Okay, you should be able to see a little bit, man. So,
Nope.
No? You sure?
Oh, yep, I finally can now.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So, as you're kind of walking in, the dude that led you here walks in first, and all of a sudden you just hear, and this rapid firing of a gun, clearly, and the guy just gets annihilated in front of you. So, technically what we're going to do is we're going to roll for initiative, and you're going to move. Well, let's all roll for initiative first. Let's do that.
Is there a tracker?
There is an initiative button and tracker, yes.
So,
my guy.
Are these is each square like if you have a run 9, does that mean 9 squares or 9 feet?
It's feet.
Okay,
Feet.
sorry, yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Somebody rolled twice. No, did. Okay, I get it. So, here's the thing. It's completely dark. Does anybody have a light source? Let's start with that.
I sure
See a
don't.
light source.
I gotta look.
Momento.
Nulf apparently has a 5-foot light source.
He does have a light source. No, it does.
I have a aura of light around me. That's not dim light.
No, that's just what you can see, like in your
He's
dark
referring
sight.
to like a
Do you-
globe or whatever.
Yeah.
they
Do you have any equipment that says you have a light source?
No.
Okay.
Intermittent flashes of light caused by weapon fire.
Yeah.
we didn't fucking come prepared for this one.
All right. So, essentially,
Been like a requisition on a flashlight, wouldn't we?
yeah, probably, but I mean,
we think
yeah.
we didn't know this was gonna happen.
yeah. So, here's the deal. When you're moving, on your initiative, you can move 2 squares in the darkness. That's it. Until, if you want to move more, then you can, but you risk actually. So as you come in here, you see the green stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, the green stuff is, you don't know, but it doesn't look too pleasant. It bubbles, it stinks. There's kind of a vapor coming from it. So if you move any more than 2 squares, now you technically are walking over it, and that's okay based on the map. But if you actually move more than 2 squares, I will make you roll to see if you fall in. Okay? So,
Okay, and obviously jumping over to the other side would require a check.
absolutely. So, I'm going to do a couple things here. Just bear with me just a moment.
Dang, at 13.
Thug.
Sladries.
Oh, he rolled shit like me. Man after my own heart.
And I must say, I rolled pretty decent initiative.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. Nulf, you're up. Oh, it's not showing. It's so weird. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
Wait,
That's
what?
fair, so wait.
Yeah, he's not on the turn tracker. I don't know why.
Sororitas
see
basic
his-
equipment is a
wait.
stab light.
Ooh. Stab light?
Yep.
Give me
Yeah,
one
I threw
moment.
myself on. It's an
That is actually a light source, I think. Let me take a look.
Alright, so
Yep,
both
it
will
is.
advance.
Alright.
He ignites his
Stab
rock
light.
ball, sending electricity coursing through it, hopefully to make himself a more appealing target than his comrades.
Did you see that change for Seraphina?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see more now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Nolf moves forward. All good.
Yep, he moves his two.
Um,
He notices someone down here and points it out to his comrades.
Yep, and that is actually so. Just put you at 13. It's fine. So as you do that, yeah, you take fire.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing happens.
Soak.
Is it soak? You
Oh,
soak it.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he shoots you directly in the chest, but it doesn't get through. Or actually, 70. So what is
Right
a
leg. Still has
71?
9.
Right? Yeah. So he shoots you. Nothing happens. But yeah, somebody definitely shot you. Vanso.
Vanso moves up to the corpse of the definitely not a spy and tries to inspect the wounds to see what caused it.
You're
What
inspecting
kind of weapon?
it's some sort of slug.
Okay.
Okay. Ruben.
Oh, so if we want to move more than 2 squares, we need to check.
Yep. You can move your full move if you pass the check.
He will try to inch his way up as stealthily as possible.
Okay. Seraphina.
All right. She will move forward as well.
Okay. All right. Bear with me. See something here. Julius.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Is this a shit? Can't tell. This is a fucking hallway or not.
It is.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of draw my coat up over my head a bit because this is a chameleon line cloak, and I guess I'll try to stealthily move forward. This is 2 squares.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Nolf, go ahead.
Alright, he continues his arduous advance. Gosh, that's a pain. What would the check be? Perception?
Oh no, it would be acrobatics
Oh gosh.
Yeah, do not.
or athletics. I would let you do athletics too.
It would be extremely painful.
I'm very badly burned.
Yeah. He ends his turn there then.
So this guy's gonna go full auto or semi-auto. No.
No dice.
So you're just taking fire. It's like all around you at this point, but nothing hits. Vanso?
Vanso move up 2. Now these squares are are complete like liquid, right?
You can
walk on them?
you can move over them unless you're blocked by something. You can move over them if you move
in the sludge? Would I be in the sludge though, or
if you stop there, yes.
Okay.
But if you can cut corners and stuff, yeah. As long as you go
Like
diagonal,
right here?
that would be a jump.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if your token is halfway on them, it's okay, right?
So I'm swimming right now.
Are you?
Shit.
Oh, that's okay. We'll say that you didn't know. That's fine. So go ahead. Good, Ruben.
So I can't. I'm not gonna stop on this person. Yep.
Okay.
I think we're right here. 1, 2, 2. Is this? I wonder. Now I can't tell if this is a tile or not over here to my left. It's just a wall.
You can get away with some shit. Ruben's pretty good with agility stuff.
To your that is a tile you could move there. Maybe actually, it's blocked by a wall, I believe. Yeah. I mean, you can try to move that way, and if you move your token, it should block you.
Yeah, no, it blocks me. All right. Because I don't want to trap Serafina where she's gonna be at. Because we can't end our turn on somebody, right?
You could. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I can't stand off just on them. Maybe the 2, I guess, right? 1, nope. Perfect. All right, and I don't know if I get a clean shot.
You do not. I mean, you could. Can you see him from there?
I could see him, but I had to look through Venzo.
Yeah, you would take a massive penalty shooting through Vanso and in the dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, please don't hit me.
Don't hit me, please.
Serafina.
I think she just keeps her pistols ready and holds the rear guard.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just going to end up on top of Vanzo. So.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Well, the sororitas, you'd be the one catching, so.
Corbray.
Could I actually do a stealth roll stealthily that way to make sure I'm doing it?
You wanna roll stealth?
Roll stealth and try to move stealth.
Yep, you could. Yep.
I'll even. So I just want to make sure. So can I put this fucking cloak to use? So it's gonna be stealth. So let's do her. There you go.
Okay.
Let's move, I guess, one square down.
Yeah, he's a little slow-mo for me too, Vanso.
Every once in a while.
Yeah. All right. Nolf, I believe you're going to be shot at again.
He's loving it.
This guy can't hit me. Okay, here we go. No,
Thankfully,
miss.
He's a badass. slowly walking towards him so they can smash the shit out of him. He's a judge.
Nolf looks to his left, seeing the multiple squares over here, thinking he's got a better chance at not landing in the sludge. So he jumps over here with the intent to overshoot, hopefully.
Okay.
Whoops, sorry.
Have those fate points ready.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I'd reroll that.
That's a critical failure if you don't.
I would reroll that. Oh God. Oh.
Okay,
Drop a
mark
fate point.
mark off one of your fate points.
You got it. So
And
as
you-
Nolf jumps, he sees an alternate reality. He just shorts it and just straight down and dies. Now that he's in the light, what's that? He moved 5,
Okay.
10, 15. Because he's in the light, he can move more, yeah?
Yes.
He'll get right up to him with a run. Because that will be about it he can do.
Okay, that's good.
Sup.
All right, Vanso.
So Vanso is going to turn. Now, am I also in the light or no?
Yes, you're in the light enough.
Okay. Is that where the light ends? Right.
I'd have to look at your token. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, it's only 10 foot radius.
Because I went 1, 2, 3. Because I see this guy, I want to know if I could charge him.
Nah, I don't think so.
No. That's where it ends? The light?
I need to be able to look at your. Give me 1 second. I can tell you.
He's right here.
Yeah, I see that. Just 1 second. I just can't see what he can see exactly.
I mean, I can barely see the outline of the guy, but I want to know if I can move further because of the whole light thing.
Why can't I see your token up here? Bear with me. There we go. No, you can't see him.
So that's it then, I guess. That's all
Yeah.
my moves.
That's it. All right, Ruben.
And I can move my 2 once I get with the light. Would I be able to do continuous movement?
No, because your first 2 moves are what's taking so long, essentially.
All right, then I would have to do a check if I want to move more. What's that? What am I checking on?
You're checking on either acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics. You want to reroll that too.
Yeah, and that costs a fate point, right?
It does.
That's correct.
All right. All right. All that for 3 movement.
Hey. Hey.
Well, you made a roll, so you can keep moving up to your movement.
Is this guy? I still can't see him, can I?
You could see. I mean, yeah, you could see him from there, but I mean,
Kind of dim. All right. Well, my main thing is I don't want to shoot anybody, like any of the allies. So I could take my shot now because it's looks like a pretty clean line of fire.
yeah, you can do that.
All right.
Plus, Nolf could probably take it.
Miss.
He's not good at fighting.
No, I'm not good at much.
Okay,
It's a thought that counts.
Seraphina.
That's what killing you, sucker.
Alright, she will move forward her 2 spaces. And she can't really see that guy yet, so I guess that's it for now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Nolf is going to get shot at again
What?
by someone to the south.
You're just getting beat up, man.
Heretic.
Now that actually hits because it was a full auto, but it doesn't get through.
No.
Unless 14 is head, right? Apparently not. You don't know why, but apparently not.
Ooh, head's 9, so no.
Okay. And then Vanso is getting shot at this time. Miss. Actually, hold on. No, that's actually a hit.
Actually minus 10s.
It's a minus 10?
Yeah, because you get the opportunity for more hits. It says here, full auto burst, half action, ballistic skill test with a minus 10 penalty to his attack for each. Let's see. 1 hit with his weapon per degree of success.
No, okay.
Up to his rate of fire. Yeah, it's one of those things that's different between all the books.
Okay.
Sometimes they provide bonuses, other ones that don't.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's first edition that does that.
Mm-hmm.
That's miss. Go ahead, Julius.
Ooh, that could have been dirty. You're lucky it's not. You're lucky it's not Rogue Trader because you'd be fucked. Okay. I will continue to stealthily move down here, and I'm actually probably just gonna wait here because I see Vanso coming, and I think that Julius thinks he's oafish by this point, so he's just gonna let him go by before he moves forward again. He's gonna try to maintain cover and stealth. So that's it for me.
Okay. And this guy drops. Well, it doesn't drop, but basically draws his chainsword with a quick draw and attacks. Where it's actually a chain blade.
Ooh, he should be. That should be a hit actually with a standard attack plus 10.
Mm-hmm. So 11 damage. Yep. Okay.
What does the tearing special do?
Rerolls the damage done.
Yeah, it's factored in, but yeah, they do a lot of damage. So pin 1. So where did that hit you? 23 is.
23. Arm, left arm.
Arm?
Looks like.
Left arm, so...
What's your...
So I take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Jesus, what a badass.
Mark that off. So he sliced you across the arm, but it barely phases you.
Educate him.
He receives the Emperor's blessing. With an all-out... Sorry, if I should clear, all-out attack.
And that gives you plus what?
Plus 20. I think it's plus 30. Let me see.
I think it
It's at
is.
least plus
Yeah.
20.
That hits regardless. So he's going to
Plus
try
30.
to.
And if he's not dead, he...
But you don't get to evade.
Type weapon.
You don't get to evade this next round though.
Yeah, he's going to try to dodge.
That's a good idea because that will fucking demolish him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No. Oh god.
So I think that's 54 is the torso.
Body. Torso.
Yeah. So that was how much damage? 15. Ooh.
No.
Yeah. So describe how you kill this guy.
Okay, so Nolf was getting a bit tired of getting shot up, and the prick to his skin was the final touch. You know, he likes his skin. He likes it where it is. So he just reels back and slams them all straight into his chest, breaking every bone in it, just sending him flying into the water.
Yeah. When he falls in, his body like is engulfed, and you notice you just see it just kind of like the skin like flake away, and like this just disintegrate off the body.
Mortal Kombat.
Vanso.
Then he'll take a.
So Vanso's going to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see him yet?
Oh, you see him. You see him from there, yeah.
Now, does that count as a half action since I only did half of the 2 steps, or?
No, you're good. You can move and attack.
I can move again and attack?
Yep, mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to attack him with my sword. Sword.
And don't forget all your sword talents that you have, right?
Well, no, yeah, it's rerolls and miss attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That hits. That hits.
Because you get a plus 10, so it's 50. Should be.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with your plus 10? The T?
No, that is not factored in.
Okay.
So it's a hit, 9 at 74. I believe that's a leg.
It is. I think it's right leg.
Left leg.
Nope.
Sorry, right leg.
Oh. Yes, they got the R and L backwards. Left, right, left leg.
So you cut him across the leg. And he kind of staggers, but doesn't fall. Ruben?
Alright, Alright, and then I'm at, I guess that's the end point of the light, and that's the last I'm gonna move now.
Okay. Serafina.
Okay, now since she has the light, can she move more than?
Oh,
two spaces?
you can move. You can move as much as you want. You're good. You have enough light to illuminate everything around you.
All right, then she'll come up here and close ranks with Nolf and Ruben.
Okay. This guy shoots again. He's gonna do full auto. So they've been minus 10. Miss.
Pretty good.
Bullets are just going everywhere. These guys can't shoot worth shit. This guy quick draws his chain blade and swings at Lanso. It's a miss.
Close.
Yeah, I still got that parry though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they miss.
But can I use my parry to do a no? If it misses, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's correct. You can't react.
On a parry, I get a counterattack. So
Yep. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, I'll move one down. I'm gonna assume for all of Vanso's blustering that he can handle one common street thug who I've probably put in jail before. Move to the left. One.
Split the party.
All right.
I recognize you, and you'll be fine.
Let's see here. Do runs have to be in a straight line? They do, don't they?
I don't think they do. Let me see. I think they can just be anything. Because you're just fucking you hit full speed.
Might be a charge.
Charges have to be
Yeah.
straight line. For
And
the
so-
last 2 squares, but he can run full speed. Yeah.
You see this guy just Vanso. You hear him, and then you see this huge dude
Oh, sweet mama humma.
coming at you with he's got a chainsaw. You hear,
Oh god.
and he's just like coming at you. So he's there now.
Now, do you have to disengage in order to move back out of
Yeah,
melee?
that's
or take
correct.
Or take an attack if you just want to move regular.
Alright, Nolf needed the Emperor's guidance to make his last check, so he's not going to jump across there. But
Okay.
I will ask Seraph, her light radius, does that affect Nolf as well?
Yeah, as long as you can see, you're good. As long as you can see, you're good right now. Yeah,
If I can
until
see her, I can see.
Yep, as long as you can see, basically you'll move, and if it gets dark for you, then that's where you got to stop. But
Oh, okay.
so as long
I see everything in dim light right now. That's a full move?
you see everything, you should see everything in pretty good light.
Before
I
the
think.
torch, I see it in bright light. For this, I see it in dim light.
Oh, you know why? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yeah, go ahead and move. You're fine.
Okay. Hey, there's the light. I think that should be good.
Yep.
And he ends there.
Right.
He'll call back. It's a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, great.
Vanso, what would you like to do?
Vance will be like, one peasant, two peasants makes no difference to the great Vanso Quintilian. And does a swift attack on the thug.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh baby. Ooh.
You hit him.
Huge.
Double.
So that's a total of 13.
13.
I believe his armor is the same everywhere unless one of them hit him in the head, which 14 does not. So, okay. So, 0, and so he takes another 3 damage. So you cut him.
Bang.
The first attack does nothing. The second attack cuts him a little bit. Ruben.
Wait. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have. I have Hammer of the Emperor. I could reroll any 1s or 2s. The first one was a 2, so I can reroll it. So
Okay.
First damage. Yeah.
Roll
Yeah,
D10.
so-
Nice. D10 plus 3.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
So 6 plus 3.
Oh baby. 9. So it'd be 9 and
So,
17.
So that's 4 more damage. Let's see. 4 more. That is going to take him down. So describe it.
So, Vanso, basically he jumps backwards and then he just stabs him, kind of like Darth City style, just constantly stabs him in the gut over and over and over again till he falls down. It's like, haha, taste my Mancoran swordsmanship. It's on the stabbing style.
you killed my father.
Prepare to attack.
Shit.
Not prepared to die.
Ruben.
All right. Hearing that was a dead down there. Ruben is going to head. Oh, they're all starting to work. No, I don't know. I can't see them, so I'm gonna start heading back up.
Okay. You can move your full rate though until you hit darkness because you should be able to see. What I'm going to do for Seraphina real quick is I usually wouldn't do this, but all players see light, so that should illuminate for you as well.
So his movement's 8, right?
Mhm.
8 squares.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Okay. Seraphina, what would you like to do?
I think she's gonna down this way with her light
Mm-hmm.
and take a shot at Thug 2.
Sure can.
Oh, I missed one down there, huh?
That's a hit. Not a good one though. That doesn't do enough to hurt him.
Okay, and she has 2 weapon wielders, so can she shoot with the other pistol?
I think that's a full action, right?
Okay,
So you can't move and do it.
gotcha.
All right. He returns fire. That is gonna be a miss. Just barely, I believe.
Full autoed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she is a desperado, so once per round after performing a move action, she can make a standard attack with a pistol weapon as a free action.
Okay, then you could have shot again. Go ahead. Because you shot as a free action, and you missed it anyway. Your gun does not jam because it's unreliable.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would have, I believe. Julius.
Just before I take it, I think we're doing swift attack on Rogue Trader rules, because swift attack for Dark Heresy is only one roll on the weapon. It doesn't matter now, but just for future.
Okay.
Swift attack, it's one roll, and then it's 1 degree of success if you pass, and then another hit, or 1 hit if you pass, and then another hit per 2
degrees of
success.
success. 2 degrees.
So you multiplied the damage, is that it? Or
Well, you would roll more damage on the next hit. You only roll to hit once, and then how well you hit determines how many rolls for damage you get. But yeah, it's not that big a deal. Like, I was probably gonna be fucked anyway. Well, this is getting kind of crowded over here. So in lieu of doing anything insane, what I would like to do is I would like to use my skill with attempt to roll command, and there is a skill here that I can use for it called Inspire. As a full action, I can make a +0 command test to inspire 1 or more followers, be they allies, and they receive a +10 on their next skill or characteristic test, because Vanso looks like he's about to get fucking demolished here the next turn.
well,
I would like to,
We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to use command here. And, come on, Vanso, don't fall to that fiend, but make sure you take him alive. And trying to like psych him up for this incoming parry that he's probably going to have to make to not die. So command. Okay, I'm not going to reroll it because it was.
what did you say?
Yeah, he does not, like, this guy just, and you just hear as, and he swings his chainsword at you, and that's all out attack, and...
Hey, that hits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna parry.
Yeah.
You'll want to.
You want to parry that.
Look at those modifiers.
Holy fucking shit.
I don't even see the guy over there.
I don't either, but I don't want to if he's rolling 15s for damage. That's death.
Fuck.
You want to reroll that.
Yep, I'm gonna fate it. Fate.
Oh my god, that's brutal as fuck.
And that's going to be in the 16 is arm, I believe. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
God damn it.
Oh, fuck! That's
Making
gonna
it work,
hurt.
really, bud.
So only 1 fate per turn, right?
Yep.
So what's your soak on your arm?
4.
Okay, so effective 2 soaks, so you take 13 damage.
Welcome to 40k.
I am at
13. You're at
So
0.
you're not in criticals yet.
Not
This is
yet.
nice. You're getting there.
So this chainsword just rips through your arm, and you feel just like all this blood just splatter up into your helmet and face and everywhere, and the guy's just like, ha ha!
You dirty commoner! Sacré papier!
Get back, you fool!
That is a wall, yes. You cannot go
And
through
then,
it.
Nulf said it was a dead end. He'll start running back.
Yeah. You can move your full. You can actually run until you run out of light. If that happens.
For movement rate.
Mm-hmm. It's a square per movement.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
You
I
fast.
didn't realize that.
This is a small thing, too.
I gotta go back then. So, full move is 6, which is enough, so he'll run.
I think Vanson needs some help. So we'll say if you're passing through them though, it costs 2 because you're in such a confined space. So I'm not sure you can still do that, or
I'm at 15 here.
so that would be an extra 6, or basically an extra 3.
I'm on top of what's
Yeah, you can't occupy the same. I'd say you can occupy the same space. However, if you want to do that, each of you need to roll acrobatics or athletics, or
get the
somebody could fall in the sludge.
Then I will be back here.
Okay.
Or you could be up here.
Yeah, you could be up there too.
Oh, that's true.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll go there. And I'll end my turn.
You can see the bloodbath.
All right, Vance.
So then the swift attack. So every degree of success gives extra.
Every 2 degree of successes.
Okay.
So you would have to roll really low, right? But if you all out attacked, you wouldn't have to roll that.
Well, I just
low.
do aim. Can I do an aim attack? Or
Yeah, I think that's plus 10 to your attack. Yeah.
Plus the regular standard, so plus 20.
Yep.
Okay, I'll probably do that.
You're bold.
He's
There it
confident
is.
in his parry.
Plus 20. 13
Okay.
damage.
He cannot parry. He all out attacked.
That's gonna be in the leg.
Leg.
Right leg.
Okay. So you cut him very deeply. Let's see. No pin. Okay. You cut him across the quad, and he's like, "Rah!" He didn't really seem to.
That's what you get, you piece of
Just
crap.
a viciously edged croissant.
All right, Ruben.
Is the croissant of mankind.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't want to go that way.
Internal dialogue.
Best of luck.
That's awesome.
I'll chortle as he moves past me if he says that under his breath. Nod in understanding.
I am going to die.
He'll nod right back.
Fucking Ruben.
All right, Seraphina.
Outstanding.
Serafina will continue to fire at the thug.
Okay. That's a miss.
Plus 10. Top one hits.
Oh, she shot twice. I'm sorry. I didn't see they both
wait.
rolled.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the first one does hit. But that is... No, that's not going to be enough to hurt him.
Chest.
And then the next one missed, so...
Yep.
Julius.
That guy go. The thug.
Oh, he did. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Okay, he's gonna do a
What are you
single
doing,
shot.
man?
Single shot. And that hits... I think it's a leg.
It is. It's the.
Minus 10 that I'm missing.
It's the. I think that's the left leg.
I did a single shot. I said
Okay.
it. Yeah. So that hits 10 damage. What's her soak on her legs?
Do you have dodge or anything?
Oh yeah, you could dodge too if you have it.
Yes, she does.
You're probably gonna want to try.
I'm just wondering, if you critical fail dodge, does that increase the damage?
No.
No.
You just failed. Because you're already gonna eat shit. So.
No.
That sucks. Armor
What's-
and toughness on the leg.
Yeah.
Gonna inspire there, bud?
Looks like a 7.
To 3.
Okay. So you take 3 damage.
Okay.
Julius.
I'm gonna try to inspire because if I mean, I want nothing to do with this guy at all, so I'm just trying to make sure Vanso wins. And I can't shoot into a melee because I'll just kill Vanso. So,
Wouldn't be so bad, would it?
come on, Vanso, that's the way well, for me it would be, because if I'm this big dude, am I going to fight the Arbiter, or am I going to kill this old dumbass man? So I see Vanso, starting to get the upper hand a bit, straight back and cuts across the quad, and like, that's the way, Vanso. But remember, take him alive, outdo him, disarm him, take him down, and just fucking cheerleading, I guess. Yeah.
What?
I'm not an inspiring man. I apologize.
You can't hear with the sound of the rending.
Yeah,
his
that's
chest.
what it is. Everyone else is very excited, just not him.
Miss.
Aim and attack is what he's doing.
Oh, it could be huge. Oh God.
Hit.
I'm gonna parry.
You sure
Oh shit. He's
Yes!
Oh.
And I get to attack.
Nice.
there?
Minus 20, so...
No.
Yeah, so basically, his chain, you bring your sword up just at the last moment, and it catches the chain sword and kind of like brings it off to the side, and you swing back, and he kind of leans backwards. Nolf.
Oh, you must fear the man of Mancora.
In the name of the God Emperor of Mankind, under Charter 7, Section 8, I sentence you to death.
Do not steal my kill, you motherfucker.
Steal your kill?
Fuck you!
And he will invoke Devastating Assault, which grants him another attack.
Okay, so for oh yeah. Okay, so what does that do?
He went all out.
Shocking.
He's gonna do another one. Because that's
Wait.
what
Gets to
devastating
roll,
assault. Hold on.
A toughness test.
Yeah, but you moved, so you can't do an all-out attack.
Oh, that's right, my mistake.
So it's just a regular attack, huh?
Yeah, so 10 damage, shocking a target, takes 1 point of damage. Toughness bonus. This may challenging toughness test, okay? Alright.
So he's still alive?
Oh,
You can
yeah.
kill him with this.
Yes.
You
So
could just kill
toughness.
him outright.
I could slice him up some more.
That's going to be close. That is it's challenging. So he failed.
So he's stunned for a number of rounds equal to half his degrees of failure.
So he's
Rounding up. So
one
he's
then.
guaranteed one. Yeah.
He's stunned for 1, fatigue for... Is the level of fatigue too? Okay. Alright.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you.
He takes 10 damage, and then check that. That's on the... I'm confused now. 80, so that's on the leg. He takes... Okay, he's fine. Yeah, you bash him in the leg, and he's like... He kind of sways for a second.
No.
You there, no neck. Stop resisting.
Vanso.
You get a plus 20 because he's stunned.
Yep.
So remember that.
In the name of the God Emperor, I will stab you.
Hit.
Oh.
That'll hit.
That's in the body.
Should have done a swift attack.
Oh, and I assume you took away his toughness and armor for my 10 damage.
Why would I do that?
Because 0 pen.
No, 0 pen means you don't penetrate
No,
anything.
he's just making sure you subtracted his...
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. So you hit for 9. So that's... You just nick him.
Damn, stabbing style didn't work.
This guy's made of fucking metal.
Yeah, he's wearing like stormtrooper armor,
Oh
basically.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
We should have probably asked about that.
It's dark. It's hard to see.
Oh god, he's gonna attack again, isn't he?
No, he's stunned. He didn't get to do shit.
Yep.
All right.
I would just curb stomp him.
You're trying.
Shove
Yeah.
him in the goop.
There you go.
We need him alive.
I want to question this fucking guy.
Okay, shove him half in the goop.
Be like Achilles, but
Yeah, he is next to a wall too. Like on his south is a wall, so you couldn't push him in from there.
So I had to enter into darkness, but they lit up again.
Like, keep going. That's fine.
Yeah, if you can see her, you're good.
Yeah, keep going.
I guess that's a tile. All right.
Yeah, it's fine. You can do this too. Just kind of.
All right. And then I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna give a shout out to the thug because I'm gonna move and shoot.
How much did you do a half move or did you do a full move? What did you do?
Full movement.
Okay, you should be able to do it then. I think. Good.
Because I got a Desperado or whatever it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Miss.
Widely.
Serafina.
Alright. Well, now she's outraged at the...
Oh, 6. And then they're both hits. So, well, the second, so the first one's definitely hit, right? Second one is minus 20, or is it?
So second one, let's see, with 2 weapon wielder.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a 20 penalty, right?
Yeah, but then you got to factor in
normal shot.
Well, you got to factor in range too.
Point blank,
so plus 30 minus 20. I don't know if it's standard because
it's technically dual wielding. She gets a free attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if it's that, then yeah, then it's a hit. Both of them are hits. If it's
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so
yes, it is.
If it's not a dual shot or something like that, are both shooting both at the same time, then no, they both hit them.
I'm pretty sure this guy's dead. Let's see. Has this guy not been hit yet?
Oh, he's been hit.
He's been hit, but yeah,
he hasn't taken much damage.
Yeah, you kill him. So how's that look?
On her first shot, the guy kind of stiffens up. The second shot spins him. He loses his footing, and into the sludge he drops.
Yeah, and he disintegrates. Julius.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much the same shit. This time I'm going for Nolf. This maybe Nolf can hear me.
Screw you, man.
If you can't appreciate my rhetoric, why would I waste it on you?
Savage.
But there you go, Nolf. Knock him unconscious. Don't kill him. Still just talking shit. Getting on. Hey, there's a plus 10 to your next test.
Yes, my lord. Right away, my lord.
And so he's stunned. His stun is over now.
I forgot he was stunned, actually. So yeah, now it's all-out attack.
So it's going to be plus 30 because of my plus 10 on your next test. So it's plus 30.
He is not stunned, though, any longer.
Yeah. All-out attack plus 10.
Yep, okay,
well.
Yep.
So it's plus 30.
So plus 40?
40. Is an all-out attack.
Really?
Yeah.
Attack is 30.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, God. He's going to kill him.
It's a hit and a miss.
So he's going to parry.
Tempted.
Okay, probably a good choice.
Oh, he's fucked.
So he's hit by the...
You have the right to be
14.
stunned again, sir. On the ground.
1474.
Leg.
Mm-hmm.
We're just kneecapping people today.
Just
right
working
leg.
this calf.
So he's not down. So
Make another,
yeah, he's gonna make a toughness roll.
If I can stun lock this guy, that's great.
He made it that time.
He made it.
You best stun him before Vanso kills him.
He's not stunned, so it is Vanso's turn.
Yeah.
Stop
So
resisting.
Aim attack.
plus 10 for that. And you guys are ganging up on him. Did they get bonuses for that? Or
They
I don't know if he has Blade
Is it
Master or
10?
something.
he does. What's that? But yeah, plus 10.
Yeah, if he has
Okay.
Blade Master, they wouldn't get a bonus.
So I will. So is it? So I don't get the ganging up bonus.
No ganging up bonus. You get if you're aiming, you get plus 10.
I'll do the swift attack.
Okay.
So it's
Boom! Plus 10.
So that's
Or
gonna
no.
be
Yeah.
2 hits. So roll another
Yeah.
damage. Because you got 1 and then 1 additional for every 2 degrees of success. You got 3 degrees. So roll another damage die for it.
Do not get the standard bonus for swift attack.
No, you do. Roll damage again. You hit him.
Yeah, you hit him twice.
But wouldn't that be 4 degrees if it's 50?
No, it's
not,
it's
okay.
it's every 2. So
Yeah, so it's
11 and
16
12
damage from
damage. So he's down into criticals now. So that's let's see, 4 and then 3's 7. So he's at -6.
Even when I missed that, could have re-rolled it.
No, it didn't miss. You don't roll for attack again. You're just rolling damage the second time.
Oh, okay.
Criticals is 7 for the where we're at. The
He's
leg.
he's at -6 in the leg for impact. Rending.
Sorry.
Rending.
Was that a part of the attack feature, or is that just in general?
That's the swift attack. So
Oh, shit.
swift attack basically allows you to. So he rolled a 14. That's that's 2 degrees for every. Well, it's actually 3, but it's for every 2. He gets
Another hit.
another hit, and so he's rolling damage twice basically.
Thank you.
So he cut off a good chunk of the guy's foot. Manso did. Now that guy's suffering from blood loss, and he has to make a toughness test to see if his movement's going to be halved.
Okay. It's not going to matter because he's not going to move. His movement is halved.
And then he has to roll. So he suffers another level of fatigue from being in blood loss.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it, I think, actually. I don't see anything else for blood loss, so...
Okay, Ruben, what you gonna do?
Is there anything to use a grappling hook on? Like anywhere down there that could skip across the sludge with?
Not where you are because you have a wall in front of you. This is a wall.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, what about...
Well, you can move over here. Right?
Alright.
To your, I mean, you could go left, and then you can jump and see.
We'll like give it a shot. Why not?
Right.
Acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Bold.
you made it.
Do
Alright.
you need a special training to use a chainsword?
You need to have weapon training chain.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're at making tests at minus, I think, 20 or 30 penalty.
It's pretty
Serafina.
Yeah, she's not feeling the jump across, so she'll.
I don't blame her. Julius.
Come on, man. Do the right thing.
Continue to... I don't want the guy to fucking die. You're gonna kill him.
So? It'll be glorious.
Take him down, no. Do it for your god emperor. Something. I don't know. I'm saying that with obvious skepticism. Yeah, see, it comes across quite clear, like, sort of stomach. Do it for your god emperor. Yes.
Alright, he's gonna. Okay, so he's all out attacking Vanso.
Yay.
And so he has 2 levels of fatigue, so this is going to be a test at plus 10.
He's still fucking you.
Hit.
Oh, God. You really need to parry that. This guy's a fucking
think he's just
machine.
dead. He's ended up taking 11.
Wait. Did he test that plus 10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 45 is his usual roll.
No,
Yeah.
his yeah. He made it. He was shooting at a TN-55.
Yeah, he passed. You need to parry. Desperately.
Come on.
This will fuck you up.
And this is your head, so keep that in mind.
And I
Head.
get to attack. Minus 20. Nope.
Yeah, that would have killed you. I'm pretty sure because that would have hit you in the head too.
He'd be fucking dead. Oh my god.
So you parried at the last. So how does that look as he's ready to strike you down, bloody and wounded?
Vanso does a little bit of a pirouette. You cannot touch me, Vanso. Orcs swing faster than you.
Oh god.
Okay, Nolf.
I said stop resisting. Stop it.
If you miss, I kill him. So you know. Oh, I'm gonna kill him.
That is a miss.
Too bad.
That is. I can fate point that, right?
You could. You could.
You sure you want to do that now?
Yes. Fanso is just bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
Oh, that does it.
You run on the button.
For
See,
12.
he's at a negative. He's at a negative 10.
Oh.
Alright, shocking.
Yeah, I'll roll his toughness. See if he gets shocked.
Yeah, and it is non-lethal, so
He
I can't
is-
kill him with this.
How is it non-lethal exactly?
From the shocking description. Here, I'll post it.
Can incapacitate their. Oh. How about that?
Okay.
Interesting.
So, you hit him in the back of the head, we'll say, and he just crumples to the ground finally.
He'll very cleanly he'll holster his weapon and put his arms behind his back. I don't have any manacles, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but
We could cut off his hands
he's
and
got
feet.
jack shit.
We could always cut off his hands and feet.
Not yet. We need to save some extremities if we need to interrogate him further.
Of course, monsieur. We will have ways of making him talk.
Indeed. Unfortunately, you have to be
bones?
conscious for that.
Dang.
Those are bones.
They
Something.
don't look human.
The tyranny in
Maybe
these sewers. What the fuck's happening here?
So what are you gonna do?
Know if you want to search up north of me?
Does anyone have any rope? Any sort of thing we could use to bond this idiot?
I have a grapnel on the line.
Let's
do
do
it.
that then, shall we? It'll do.
Hey, you guys got him.
Who was that?
Fucking Batman. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you search around, you don't find anything. You see where he had been living, probably. Basically, all you see is a refuse pit and a little campfire in a barrel, essentially where he'd been eating, but not really anything else.
Anyone who has extra space in their packs, go collect the weapons from the dead. They're no good to them anymore anyway.
I call dibs on the chainsaw that nearly took off my arm. I forgot my accent.
It happens.
Just think French bread, it'll be fine.
I want to have the chainsaw that goes vroom vroom.
North that post.
Take it then, who cares? Somebody help me put this idiot up against the wall. Find some water or something. Splash it in his face. We don't have time to waste.
There's plenty of sludge.
Let's not do that.
You got to get it out of there first.
If you want to scoop it with your hands, go ahead. I've seen what it did to these other fools that fought against us.
No, we use his own hand.
You're the one with the bionic leg. Stick it in there.
You don't know how expensive these were. I'm not going to pay for another foot.
So as you guys are talking,
Salary and all.
this guy raises up and he's just like ah. He's just screaming.
Point my las pistol and calm down, shut up.
No, he doesn't. He just and he's like gnashing his teeth, trying to bite. Like
he's good. He's probably lost then, isn't he?
Pet of house misery.
Does this seem consistent with what's been told about people being psychotic? Granted, he just almost killed like 2 or 3 of us by himself. So I
mean, that's up for you to decide. But
stop resisting.
Oh yeah, you. I mean, you can beat him to death, certainly.
Don't waste your energy, Arbite. I'm just gonna shoot him in the face and put my pistol away.
Yeah, you just
the gaping hole I left for him.
Yeah. And so Reuben, you kind of see hanging out of this guy's back pocket, what you were to see is a small data slate.
Hey, somebody take that data slate from his back pocket. I would, but I can't reach.
No, you're fine.
And that's the guy I just shot in the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spin him over. Don't touch him too much. I think he was suffering from the effects of that disease. Pull out.
Wait, do we all have gloves, or is anyone barehanded?
Oh, Nolf was encompassed in body armor.
I've got gloves because I'm fancy.
I know I got, but what about Reuben and
I would say Reuben probably does not.
Surfina.
I got gloves. I got special gloves that I like to wear before I go climbing or something.
That's fine. You're good. So you take the data slate and read it, and it reads, Corporal Slads, I am beginning to have violent thoughts that will come to violent ends. Should we give ourselves over to the Inquisition or Commissar? It would mean our life and worse. But would it be better than for the Imperium of Man? I do not know what happened out there facing those Necrons, but I feel it in my bones. I have been staying at the Starlight District at a place called the Easy Rest. I figure hiding in the masses will gather less attention than you in the sewers. Come see me so we can talk. Sergeant Duros.
Well, we have a new course of direction. Starlight District. This is the Easy Rest.
Yep.
Starlight District, the Easy Rest. First and foremost, I believe we owe a Medicae a body. Well, it would appear we have one. So, seeing as we have 2 strapping young gentlemen to carry this brute, and I'm referring to Vanso and Nov, we should head back there quickly and drop off this corpse.
Oui, monsieur.
As for the rest of these, well, they were all crooks, but I really would not like an investigation given some previous history here. So let's go ahead and feed these to the muck.
Yeah, you can strip them.
His club and starts dragging the body. He leaves the disposal of the other corpses to other people.
Yeah, you can take what's on them. They just have las pistols and auto pistols and chain blades.
Get that bonus to requisition trading this shit in.
Mm-hmm. So you get 3 of those. We'll just mark it for later. So you're heading back to the.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before he does that,
sure.
Will point out he found a little area over here. It might be worth investigating.
Yeah, you go up there and you don't find anything. It's just another exit. and you don't know the way. You don't know where the hell that goes. So you basically
Definitely.
just follow your way. Retrace your steps. All right. So you're heading back to the quarantine. Okay. So you head back here, and you head back to the Medicaid office. Nothing seems to have really changed here.
Yeah. Okay.
North, you animal.
All right. So
So I have control over Julius.
I think
Don't
it's.
touch me.
I think it's.
Heads up.
Yeah, I think it's because I was trying to see light. I might have just said all players have access or something. Yeah, I did. There we go. Okay, so you head back. What do you do?
Motion for them to throw the body up on the counter where it's clear, and just sort of wait expectantly, looking at the Medicaid.
Hoists the corpse off the single alarm and slams on the table.
He comes and looks. And he's like, "This corpse is destroyed. Who shot it in the face?"
You've seen how the other ones act when they're crazy. Did what we had to do.
And he grunts and he grabs this huge chisel, and he's got this mallet, and he puts it right above the hole that you put in his face, and he just comes down and just slams it into the skull. And then when he gets it in there, he's wiggling it back and forth, cracking the skull open. And eventually he gets it open, and he grabs it with two hands and just rips the top of the skull open to expose the brain. And then he's like, "This is ruined."
Beggars can't be choosers, but we'll have a second one coming soon.
And he just kind of curses, and he's like, "Well, you better, because this is worthless, as I said. I'll get nothing out of this."
Oh, let it go to corpse starch for all the poor folk. And then we're leaving. We'll be back with the other one.
And he kind of looks at Vanso, and he's like, "You look like you've seen better days."
Yes, I have seen better days, but it is simply my duty.
"Bring me back a good corpse, and maybe I'll look over ya."
Any corpse? Could it be that of, let's say, a child?
You know what I mean. Get out. And he just starts scooping the brain matter out, and he puts it in this pan and starts weighing it and shaking his head.
So, does he want me to bring him a thug corpse or something?
No, he wants
infected.
Yeah, he wants the infected corpse.
Because my arm hurts. It really does, guys.
You shouldn't have gotten hit.
Should have zigged when you zagged.
You need better armor.
Should have listened to me when I was yelling at you for what to do. I was giving you directions the whole time.
All right, guys, what are you gonna do here?
We're on to...
He's
You know
kicking
what?
you out. Mm-hmm.
I do have a med kit. So, theoretically speaking, I could attempt... I'm a fairly intelligent individual. I could attempt to patch you up a bit. Now, how that would go...
Yeah, does a failed Medicaid hurt me?
No,
Really
but a
bad.
critical would. Critical failure.
Oh, it's 1 in 100.
I got a 38% chance of healing.
How about this? If I lose my arm because of you, you owe me an arm.
I'll get you a bionic. I don't give a fuck.
Sure. Okay, I'm down.
Skin off my dick. All right.
Well, now Serafina has a.
Yes.
Well, but she's not trained in Medicaid. Never mind.
How high is your intelligence?
A 40.
You actually have a better chance than any of us with a med kit, probably.
Yeah,
unless
but-
somebody has an intelligence higher than 20. Or higher than 40, excuse me.
But if you're trained in Medicaid, she could give you the med kit and you could do it.
I'm not trained in Medicaid.
Oh, I thought you were. Okay, I see.
No. Vanso's the one who's trained in Medicaid, and he's horrific at it.
I'm not trained either.
Oh, well then. So.
You'll waste your med kit too if you use it, right?
Yeah. He's fucked up though. That's the thing, like bad.
Yeah,
We
and
fight again, he's gonna
I'm one of the main fighters here.
Well, I can do some things.
I'm sure you can, Mr. Woods.
I can miss.
You're in my way. I could have shot you in the back with a fucking hot shot if you want. No, I think I should attempt it. Somebody should attempt it. So I will.
You should. I can get a bionic arm.
I really hope you roll 100.
All right, youngster, come here. And just sort of grab him by the good arm and sit him down, and then sit down on like a bench or something. Get a med kit out of my pack. Remove some of your arm, whatever's left of your armor after that. You took a couple of strong swings. And unrolling shit, and cut in half is at 18 plus 20 is 38. God Emperor be with you, my son.
That's a critical failure.
I lost my arm.
I got 4 fate points. I'll give it one more go. I'll re-roll it.
I've got 4 fate.
That is literally a critical failure. That's funny.
Is it 9?
He wants me to fail so he can get a bionic.
Who's going to pay for that bionic arm? That's not a critical failure. But
Wait, it's not?
no.
You gotta be 96 or higher. Probably 97 or higher.
Yeah.
So I just fuck up. I just don't do anything. It's just stop the bleeding, I guess. If that.
They get the armor off. Cobra looks, and he's like, no.
Yeah. I tape it up a bit. Yeah. That'll do you. And then get up and put whatever's left back in there.
Walk it off.
Rub some dirt on it. Yeah.
Pack some dirt in it and take a lap. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, some leftover sludge just to make it better.
So that's gone.
Alright. What are you
Get
guys
those
going
out
to
of the
do?
way at least.
What could it have done?
Could have healed them for some wounds.
Okay.
Well, I think our only next course of action is to go see the sergeant at Easy Rest.
Indeed, sir.
Everyone ready?
That's where this is.
Great, I'm looking forward to seeing Venzo fight another person.
Perhaps we should requisition a grenade launcher.
Perhaps not a grenade launcher. Too much collateral damage brings heat. I don't want to be in prison.
That have something
Well, they're all potentially
more
infected.
controlled.
I don't think you'd be able to
Hunting
rate.
lands.
Yeah, there's no way to requisition anything currently.
Well, here's what our approach should be. First is to gather information, see if we can take him down with minimal combat. Vanso's in bad shape. I'm old and fat. Noph is the only true fighter here who can fight in close combat if the need comes to it. Looking at Ruben, you're a sneak thief. And the sororitas is insane. So, here's the plan I have. Ruben, I'm familiar.
Seraphin actually looks a little pleased at that remark.
Ruben, I know of your background a tad. I think I might have put you in jail before. So, listen closely to me, lad. I know you're a good sneak thief here. When we're going around collecting information, whenever we figure out what room exactly he's staying in, I want you to put your talents to use. Break in, see if he's there. If he's not, collect information. If he is, let us know. We'll unlock the door from the inside, and we'll rush in and take him. We need to take him alive.
Oh boy, can't wait.
We'll determine, let's see, when we get there, we'll figure out the timings and things like that whenever we figure out what room he's in. But after a certain amount of time, we'll have to brute force whatever room he's staying in. That's where Nolf will come in.
Of course, my lord.
Vanso, you'll be with us, but stay towards the back. We have no need to get you killed unless we need to get you killed. In which case, we'll put you in.
I always have my last pistolet.
What's a pistolet?
It is a pistol.
There we go.
All right. Anyone have any questions? All right. Let's go take him down and take him in.
Right.
All right, so you catch a train to the opposite side of Port Wander that will take you to the Starlight District. And as you get there, you're a little surprised as what you see. It's mostly you see people exiting very quickly. People are yelling. People are screaming. People do not seem to be too pleased. They're getting out as quickly as they can. There's just a mass of people going in the opposite direction, going really in every direction that you can tell, any way that appears to be away from this area.
Nolf, grab one of them.
He pulls out his shotgun, gives it a jog over there.
Yeah, you're able to stop somebody.
What is it? What is it, citizen? Report.
There's a crazy man. He's got a bomb. He's got a bomb.
Exit the premises. Go, go.
That's what I'm doing. And he pulls away and starts running again.
Ruben will filter his way through the crowd towards where the guy with the bomb's at.
No, you can't see anything. You don't know where that is. He didn't really say.
Clear path.
Goes against the crowd.
Weapons out. If anyone gets in your way, knock them over.
That's what I always do. I'm an arbiter.
And so you hear somebody mention the easy rest and a bomb, right? So.
Yeah, that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
He'll run there then.
Yeah, so you get to the easy rest, and there is nobody close to this area, because everybody is cleared out, and it's just this big building, straight up, right, and just solid, whatever the equivalent of concrete is.
Concrete.
Yeah, so it's probably 50 stories high, maybe.
Is there a front desk or anything in this place?
Yeah, there's a front door and basically a lift and stairs as well to go up if you need be.
Is there anything laying around that's we'll go and name it a room number?
Why don't you roll awareness?
We need some tokens for
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help you out.
Wonder why I'm why am I tempted to use something that's not working?
Yeah, the sheets are sheets.
Yeah, let me I don't know if pulling the tokens on will work. Hold on, let me 1 second, sorry. I will fix you up.
Is there a help action in this game?
An aid? I would give you a +10, to that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, seeing as this isn't exactly Nolf's area of expertise, he's more of a quote-unquote people person.
Yeah.
Trying to aid him with searching the area.
Alright, so what am I rolling for this?
Awareness.
Awareness.
At a +10.
At a +10, that's correct.
I'd like to use logic to deduce where he would be in the building to do that much damage with the bomb. I mean, depending on that, I don't even know what would be a good place to detonate a bomb in a building. I have no idea how that would work.
Yeah, that would take some leaps of logic.
Oh,
Okay, so
go.
you see there's this huge thick book that's stored. It's actually on the ground behind this counter. And it's like somebody ran away, right, and just kind of knocked it over. And so you can look through it. And when you do, you see it's basically a ledger of the current guests. Now, there's nothing that says Sergeant Duros. Actually, there's nothing in there that says his name.
Alias.
Now, why don't you roll logic to figure that out?
Oh boy.
What would I need to aid him with?
Okay.
I don't think this could be.
Get fucked.
Yeah. So you're looking, and you see somebody's name is SG, or I'm sorry, SD. So you assume that to be Sergeant Duros. That's the only thing you can come up with, and it's like on the 32nd floor, room 300.
And we're flipping through it. And stop, and put my finger right there. That's all we've got to go on right now, unless we're just gonna check floor to floor. We don't have time.
So is the plan for me to still climb up the side of this building, go into a window with the guy with the bomb now?
Hell no. Scratch that. Time for subtlety's done. He's got a bomb. We move quick, we move hard, we try to get him taken out and then take care of the bomb if we can. Does anyone here know how to disarm a bomb? And with that silence, oh, great. Alright. Would I know where the nearest airlock is?
I don't know. Is there even a demolition skill? What would
No, it would be...
It'd be tech use.
Yeah.
To disarm. No, it's airlock, not anywhere close. This is like where people live. This is highly populated area of the port.
Would there be anything that goes into like the trash disposal things that go to the crematoriums?
I would say you have no idea about that.
Okay.
I can't imagine that would be something that you would know.
Shit. No offhand.
Surely this big building has some way to jettison the trash.
Maybe. Well, for now, I think the best course of action is to at least figure out what we're dealing with exactly, and let's get this taken care of, and then we can worry about the disposal portion of it later. Everyone on the lift, let's see if the lift works.
It does.
32nd floor.
Now, how awkward is the elevator music?
There is no elevator music. It is sterile, and hear this, machines cranking and whatnot, and it comes to a kind of a jolt, and the two, it's like a freight elevator, right? The doors go up and down, and you have to pull them open, and the screen as well, pull it past, and then you step out into this circular room, and there's basically it looks like 10 doors. They're all numbered 300, 301. You know, he's supposed to be in 300 if it was SD.
Yeah.
SDB.
Lord, do you wish him to be taken alive, or is that too much of a risk? I have a more lethal option.
We may need to have him alive. He may be the only one who knows how to disarm the bomb.
Very
So,
good, sir.
what is Obscura?
I think
Drug.
it's a drug. Yeah.
Alright, I was just looking at my inventory. That's what I'm sorry.
Obscura can do dirty things to you. Yeah, you go into hallucinogenic phase, so don't do that. unless you want to be hallucinating during this. Maybe you'll think you know how to use tech use, and we can get this solved. I think we stack up on the door and.
So, why don't you guys roll awareness for me real quick?
Okay. No, not this time. Hey.
That's good enough. So, Ruben, you did see that there was some sort of outer ladder on the building. You could climb up and see if you could get into one of these, because the building is kind of circular in nature. As it's like almost like a tower of a castle, kind of. You could climb up, and if there is some sort of ventilation or whatever, and try to get in through an alternate method than the door if you wanted. Now, it is way up there. You're talking about 30 floors, 32 floors, so might not be as easy as you think, but you could try.
I imagine there's an athletics test.
There would be, especially at the top where it's windy and whatnot.
Acrobatics, boy.
Yeah.
You're trained.
You could try.
I mean, I could do an acrobatics. I'm not trained in anything else, though.
Yeah, that would be fine. You could use acrobatics.
You get stealth, too.
So I'll kind of relay that to the group. There's a ladder. You could try to climb in, and then I could try to unlock the door. Kind of see where he's at.
If you're willing to try, if you get in and he takes you by surprise, cry out and we'll bust down the door.
Alright. And if you don't hear nothing, that means I fell.
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear something if you fall.
So with that, he'll get back in the elevator and go back down.
You go back down and you see this ladder, and not all the rungs are all that secure, as you find when you get up about 10 stories. So you're getting up there, and there's a huge crosswind.
Well, he's gonna put on his lucky climbing gloves. First of all.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then what he's gonna do is kind of toss the grapple up and tie the line around him a little bit.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And so, like, every once in a while, when he gets to the grapple, he'll try to throw it up again.
Yeah, that's just so doing that. You don't need to roll anything. You get up to this 32nd floor, and you notice that kind of there's rungs on around it, like so somebody could access this from the outside, probably on purpose, right? Obviously, for some reason. And there's probably 4 sets, right? So it's a pretty good reach to get to the side. You don't think you think you're at 300, and you see this, or you're about there, and you see this. It's probably the size. It's probably I'd say 3 feet wide, or 3 feet high, and 3 feet wide. That's the window, if you will, and it's open to the air.
Alright, I'm gonna try to stealthily look in and see if I see anything.
You do. You see, I'll flip you over to the screen of what you see. So, you see a person sitting in the middle of this room, with a mask on, and he's just, other than his mask, he's shirtless, with some pants, and then over his body is this contraption, is all you can really call it. And you notice there's these tubes of some sort of yellow liquid pumping through the thing. You can tell it's moving, right? That's about it. It just there's like maybe a slight mechanical hum coming from it.
And he's conscious and everything, right?
Yeah, he's just as far as you don't. I mean, he's sitting there pretty much still, but I mean, you can't see his face. He's got a mask on.
Man, if I can, I'd be climbing right into there, wouldn't I?
Yeah, he's not looking directly towards you. He's actually looking towards the door. So you would be coming towards like at his side.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to climb in the window.
All right, let's do acrobatics first to get through that thing. It's a pretty tight fit.
Can I get a token?
Ah, shit, sorry.
He's ready to fail. You just had to give him the means.
No.
Oh, Christ. This is not what I was expecting.
No, not at all. Like, I'm taking it back right now.
What did you expect? All right, there you go.
All right.
Oh, he's a badass.
You slip through. You're able to get inside, and you quietly kind of drop to the floor. He's about 15 feet away.
And he's looking directly at the door?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, gosh, now I need a diversion and get him to look away from the door so I could... I don't think he's going to wait that long to look, though. Is there any way, like, an obscure way to get to the door? Like, couches and counters and stuff in the way?
You couldn't sneak to the door, no. There's not. You could sneak by. There's stuff behind him. There's a similar setup to this. It looks like some sort of weird... It looks very similar to what you saw in the Medicaid building, actually.
All right. And do I see the bomb?
Oh, it's on his body. Well, you don't know if that's the bomb or not, but there's something on his body, like some liquids, moving around, and it's like this big heavy thing. You don't see anything else that you could consider as a bomb. You don't really know.
All right. Yeah, I don't think it's a great idea to go up behind him and knock him out, or try to, because I'll probably flail my arms around like Mr. Burns. Hey, how's it going?
Oh my god!
The masked helm like turns around and looks at you. What are you gonna do?
I'm here to help you. Is that a bomb?
Go ahead and roll whatever, I don't know, charm, persuasion, something like that. Some fellowship.
What have you done?
I don't know.
I can't believe you've done this.
Pants, sorry.
I don't think any of it's trained, so. Alright, that's a failure.
I'll use a fate point.
Okay.
Last week.
Alright, go ahead.
Fuck.
You need a 13 or lower.
Oh, wait a minute.
Julius.
Got this.
Would I be technically deceiving him?
Sure.
Alright.
Do you have deceive trained?
Oh, yeah, 1 check mark, whatever that means.
Okay,
Oh, God.
that means you
Okay,
do.
25.
Almost.
Oh, we're fucking dead.
So he
Fate or
just used his fate.
no? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He kind of like his hands come up and you see that he has like 2 of these like almost look like kind of like joysticks with a button on both sides, and he presses one. And when he presses one, this you hear this hiss and this mist come out of his, like, where his back is into the air, and just kind of like starts spreading out like a mushroom cloud.
Hell. I'm gonna kind of like, since I'm getting exposed to something, to put my rebreather on that I kept.
You do. So you put the rebreather on. I want you to make a toughness check.
Where is that at?
So just roll 1d100, because I don't think I have straight attribute tests on here.
Alright,
should,
1d100.
Mm-hmm. You're out of fate points.
Yeah, that I am.
So as you put your rebreather on, you notice like this stuff comes into contact with you, and you notice like parts of the rebreather start to melt.
Oh, great.
So I want you to let's see, one second. And you feel this like choking sensation, and kind of like a terrible burning in your eyes. And I want you to roll one second. Roll a 1d9. I want you to lower your toughness by 10 permanently.
Permanently, oof.
Alright, where is that? There it is.
That's rough.
So you feel your lungs and your eyes just start to burn badly, and you fall to the ground and fall unconscious. Okay. Outside, I want you to roll awareness. The rest of you.
Oh, this will be good. Yeah, as expected. Seems good. Oh, Vanso, too bad you're not trained. Or are you?
Vanso nailed it.
Nope, not trained.
Not trained. Serafina, though.
So Serafina, so Serafina, you see coming through the cracks of the door this cloud of yellow stuff.
She points, gasps, gas, and backs away as quickly as she can.
Does so.
I'll do the same, you know. Let's get away from that shit. See if it dissipates or what happens with it.
It doesn't dissipate. It seems to be getting like more and more of a thickness to it.
Also puts on his rebreather.
Mm-hmm. And you notice.
I'm gonna light an EO stick and throw it at the flame at the thing.
Yeah, that does not actually do anything.
Okay.
Outside, so you notice there's this huge fan above you, right? In the ceiling, probably for air circulation, and a lot of it starts getting sucked up there. But I need everyone to roll toughness, please.
Oh gosh.
Swag. Okay. Well. I think I'll re-roll that.
Okay.
Down to 1 fate point, but I'd rather not pass the fuck out.
Nailed it.
I'm good.
Vanso and
Base attribute
Serafina.
works for the sheets.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it does. You're
So
right.
just roll a d100? Is that how we do it?
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
I have the rebreather. Does that do anything, or?
Yeah, it will. Mm-hmm. What's your base toughness?
33.
33. Okay. So Vanso, you failed that roll. So if you want to use a fate point to re-roll, you can. Okay, that's better actually. So none of you pass out immediately, but everyone but Vanso roll a 1d9. Corbray, lower your intelligence by 10 permanently.
That's fucking
Yes.
Seraphina, lower your agility by 10 permanently.
That is character destroying.
Are we rolling?
Yep, everybody. If you don't have a rebreather, you're rolling.
Can we just like ditch this mission? Nope.
Nulf weapon skill minus 10 permanently.
Somebody throw in a grenade already.
So basically, it affects you all differently. Corbray just kind of like starts feeling like very foggy. Seraphina begins to feel slow, and so does Nulf, like almost weaker, like, and not as having like faster reactions, right? And you're starting to get dizzy at this point.
We need to get this done quickly. It's only going to get worse. Let's go through the door. Nulf, let's go. Get through it.
What are you talking about? I feel fine.
Nulf charges the door.
Okay, roll strength.
Yep. 19.
Okay, you smash it open. When you smash it open, you see basically what Reuben had seen. And he, although at this point he's standing pointing at the door, and he has a hand cannon ready to shoot, and he will shoot at Nulf.
Fine by me.
Miss. So he shoots and it misses. What do you guys do?
I'm fucking shooting back.
Charge.
Okay, so go ahead and shoot.
Yep.
39. Where is that?
39?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. You missed. You missed though. Go ahead.
Yeah.
She shoots 15.
We're all pretty good at this, aren't we?
So you all miss.
Yep.
Vance is gonna shoot.
Gosh.
Yep. Go ahead and shoot.
That minus 10.
Oh! And it jams.
Do you have any fate points left?
Yeah. One last one, I'll do it.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay, that's better.
That hits. That hits. Right.
Short range.
95 is in the leg, right?
Yep.
So you hit him in the leg, and he kind of like falls to his knees, but still up. And he is going to shoot one more time, and he shoots at Nulf. That's a hit. You can
Actually
dodge.
take some damage.
You can try to dodge too if you wish.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's in the head too. So
You want to dodge. It's essentially what you're trying to do here.
No.
no. So you take whatever damage into the head. He has 2 pins. So
6.
Ooh.
so he shoots again, and it like ricochets off your helmet, and like you feel concussed. What do
Let's
you guys?
shoot him again, shall we? Maybe one of us will get him.
We shall.
Like me.
I think
In the fucking face.
Mhm.
Baby. Oh. Oh fuck, he's pretty dead. Oh my god.
So he was hitting the torso, is that correct?
I
Well,
shot
someone-
him in the face
Yeah,
first.
you shot him in the face. Okay, so you shot first.
10.
That pen 7 though. Oof.
Yep. So so Corbray comes in, shoots him in the head before he has an opportunity to do anything else, and it just like knocks him over backwards. And he stops moving.
I thought we need him alive, my lord.
That was before he... Oh, man, what day is it? That was before he gassed us. Damn it.
Checks the body. Is he alive or dead?
He appears to be dead. And you notice on this contraption, part of it is empty, and you notice Reuben in the corner unconscious, first of all. And he has a rebreather on, but still, he's out. But you notice that there's this red light blinking on this thing.
That's bad news.
Anyone know what this might be?
Well, it's probably the bomb. Damn it. Look around for something to unplug this or disconnect it or something.
Yeah, there's various wires and tubes and whatnot.
I might be able to short circuit it, my lord. Shock it.
Or you could blow us all up. We'll put that in our back. We'll put that in our back pocket. See if we can find some way to unplug this infernal machine.
This will be great.
Yeah. Awareness.
Yeah, Serafina looks around for some piece of equipment to shoot.
I mean, what are you trying? What are you trying? You're trying to unplug this contraption on him, like disconnect it.
I'm assuming the gas is still coming out, or that red blinking light is a bad sign. So I'm trying to figure out a way to
tech use. Tech use.
Oh, good.
I'll aid you.
After eating shit a second ago, if it would have been anything else, it would have been fine. But it had to be in. Okay, so I'm rolling to be the 13. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
You don't. You're not sure what to do. There's all these cables everywhere. These buttons, dip switches, etc.
Well, I don't... Does anyone see anything else we might be able to do here? I'll take that as a no. Arbite, please use your maul, and let's see what fate befalls us.
Yes,
God Emperor
sir.
be with us.
He pulls up his shock maul and places it against the emitter. And then turns on the shock in an attempt to...
Alright, roll 1d100. You want to roll low.
If you have fate points, please.
I do. Can I roll one?
You can use one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go, that's better.
That's better.
I take 39 damage and die.
Yeah, you shock the thing, and actually nothing happens. Well, his body like jerks, and you see some sparks and stuff, but that red light still goes. And you've been like looking at the red light, and it seems to be going quicker and quicker and quicker. And my stopwatch has expired, and so more gas is ejected from this thing suddenly. Everyone needs to roll toughness again. And it sprays you all directly in the face.
Failed.
Is it floating over my head at least?
No, everyone, even if you're unconscious. Rebreathers get plus 30 to their rolls, but...
Yes.
Dang.
I just made it.
Serafina, are you over or under toughness?
Over.
Over?
Her toughness is a 32.
Okay. Anybody have any fate points that failed?
Yeah, I'll try it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fucked again. Yep.
Yeah, Seraphina may as well use a fate point, I guess.
So are we trying
You're
to
gonna die if you don't. So.
Yeah, I got no pay points left.
I think you passed though, or what's your toughness?
I went from a
No,
31 to a 21.
you're fine though because you have plus 30 for your rebreather.
That's right.
I'm out.
Yep. That's it for Seraphina.
All right, who failed?
I dodged the attack.
Everyone but
Ruben passed. I know.
yeah, Vanso passed. I think it's just Vanso because it looks like Nolf is.
Yep, Nolf is down.
Yeah.
So this gas comes up and like Ruben actually is kind of laying by the window, and so a lot of the gas goes outside instead of to him, and he's wearing a rebreather. And Vanso is kind of standing in the back, so he doesn't get the full brunt of this, and he also has a rebreather on. But the rest of you take it, like you just inhale this stuff and it burns.
Nolf doesn't line of this stuff.
Yeah, so one more toughness roll for you three.
Fail.
Hey, 2.
Okay. Corbray and Seraphina, please describe how you cough up your lungs and expire here.
Just like that, sounds pretty good.
Well, and Seraphina still has fate points. Can she?
Oh, yeah, if you have fate points, please use them until they're expended.
All right. Then she just chokes, doesn't cough up her lungs quite yet. And now she coughs up her lungs.
Okay. So you two basically drop to your knees, and you can't really see anything any longer. You see a black haze, and you're just coughing. I don't know if you've ever seen like the Hateful Eight, where they drink the coffee, and you're just like puking blood, and it's coming out your nose, your ears, your eyes, and you two fall to the ground. Nolf, I want you to do a 1d9 for me again.
Yay.
You will remove 20 from your agility permanently. And you collapse and pass out. Vanso, what do you do being the only one conscious?
So what does Vanso see?
He sees everything that I just described.
Vanso tries to take everyone. So the whole room is filled with smoke, right? Or the
Yeah. It's kind of It's kind of
dissipating?
dissipating a bit out the window and through and out the hallway.
How's Duro Blith?
Oh, he appears to be dead.
So Vanso tries to find people who seems the most alive and tries to drag them out.
That would be Nolf and Ruben. Everybody else is clearly dead.
Yep. Try to drag them out as fast as possible.
All right, you get them out into the hallway, which is helpful because of the giant fan, which is like shooting this stuff into the atmosphere of Port Wander. So basically the screen kind of cuts as you kind of pull them out, and you see basically various people in the Starlight District also falling and dying, running everywhere trying to get away. Later on, later on, what happens is basically they didn't get these bodies back in good enough conditions, so that entire regiment is euthanized. And eventually Vanso, Reuben, and Nulf are brought back to the Inquisition ship and to their own Medicae facilities. Until the next time. And Julius Corbray and Serafina are taken and likely to be reused by the God Emperor once again in some way.
Skull. That was a harsh one, man.
Gee.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, like, I could try to